need both hands for this thing. Golly bum. Oh man, look at that. Hi y'all, good morning. I just got us anchored down as the sun is getting ready to pop up. I'm seeing a few marks there on the screen, not much right now, but we're set up in a place where fish could work through at any time. We got some geese trying to work through as well. Hopefully we don't hear them dang things today. But I'm gonna put y'all right here in the chest and we're gonna get to it, man. We're gonna drop some baits down quick, fast, and in a hurry. So I've got a big old gizzard shad right here. This is one of the bigger shad I got. I went out yesterday afternoon, loaded up on fresh bait, got a whole cooler full. So we're not gonna have any issues today keeping everything super fresh on our hooks. And the size of these shad are gonna vary. I've got this one here, of course, is big. That's one of the bigger ones, but I've got them varying sizes from 3-4 inches long up to that one there. It's probably in the 8 to 10 inch range. So we'll just offer a variety throughout the morning, but right here at first light, I want to kind of put on the big stuff, see if we get some big fish kind of working through this area and on the feed. So here we go. This is the head bait on a Carolina rig. #1 size hook, very small hook for the size of trophy catfish we're going after today, but I've been having a lot of success with these hooks. 15-pound fluoro for our leader line, swivel, a little 2-ounce egg sinker at the top, so just kind of a smaller Carolina rig. We've got 15-pound braid for the main line, a Catfish Sumo light tackle catfish rod, and then a Daiwa BG 4000 size reel. I'm dropping this down straight to the bottom. I'm going to raise it up. Water level today, where we're at, 37 feet. So our baits will be about 35 feet deep. This rod and reel here, same deal. Everything's the exact same. Only thing that's going to vary is just our cut of bait. Shad is, well, I'll take that back. Shad is not the only bait we have today. I do have one drum down in our cooler as well, but we're gonna mostly use the shad. That's what I've been having the best success with, well, at least on recent trips, although I haven't been on a trip recently. You haven't seen a disruption in videos, but I haven't actually fished in a week. It was a week ago today that I fished. So who knows what's going on with the fish, but the last trip that I was out, I was on this exact spot. You know me, folks, when I find a good bite, we're gonna hammer it till it stops. And so last week ago today, I was out here on the spot, hooked a big fish, had my longest fight yet on these light tackle rods. When I looked to review the footage, it was like 43 minutes on one fish, but by gosh, we landed the daggone thing. 15-pound line, a little small, thin wire, #1 hook. We got it done. So we're gonna try to do it again today if a fish comparable size or bigger swims through here. But we got this creek. It runs in here behind us. It comes out, drops off, and then kind of levels out over here to the main river channel. Got a little bit deeper depression right on downstream from here. So I think fish probably retreat to that as kind of a home base, and then they turn on to eat, feed. They'll move upriver, work along the ledge, come in this creek here. And if we're set up here how we are, we're gonna have an opportunity to take advantage as they move through. So I'm gonna put y'all here in the chest. I think I'm just gonna kind of leave the camera rolling here. We'll fish for 3 or 4 hours, try to take advantage of a morning bite if there is one. It seems like lately, well, you know, things could have changed in the last week, but you're getting an opportunity to catch fish for about the first hour or two after sunrise, and then the bite just, you've got a flurry of activity, and then it kind of tapers, and then boom, it drops off. The bite just dies as the sun gets up. So we'll see how it shakes out this morning, if that pattern persists. We've had some weather changes, of course, over the last week. I mean, nothing stays the same forever, but we'll see how it goes. The time of year is right to bust some big fish. Any day I go out in months of April, May, up until the spawn starts, which I would expect it to start a little sooner this year, probably now, truth be told, probably some fish on the nest just because we've had the warmer temperatures this year. But most years, it's usually around June that fish go on the nest. But April and May, anytime I go out in those 2 months of the year, I just know there's an opportunity to bust a monster. And the same holds true in the fall months too, when you get into like October, November. Oh my gosh, we've already, looky here, looky here. We're just boy, here we go. Fish number one, just a few minutes in, man. I saw a few little tiny marks there when we were getting set up. I thought I'd probably spook them off when I drop an anchor on their head. But either this fish didn't get spooked or he just come through. Either way, we got fish number one on the line here, and that sun ain't even popped up yet over there. We see where it's about to. Take your time here, fish. You'll get to see a sunrise. You see, he don't give a damn about no sunrise. He don't give a crap about that. He's got other stuff to do today. He's a busy man. This fish here is very important, y'all. Very important. He's got all kinds of stuff going on. I'm happy he's made us a part of his day, though, especially just a few minutes into the trip. Gives me hope that we're going to have this flurry of activity right here at sunrise. He's wanting to stay down now. This light tackle, I'll just take my time. Play the fish out a little more, enjoy the fight, enjoy every bit of it. Unlike the heavy tackle, where historically I'd just winch this fish on up. I think it's better for me as far as enjoying the fishing goes. It's better on the fish because they come up when they're good and ready, able to release the pressure there. And you see them bubbles right over there coming up. They're able to release those gases in their swim bladder, and that'll help them swim off safely when we let this thing go. When we get him up here, I want y'all to do me a favor. Grab this net here behind me and net this thing. You think you can do that for me? You can, but you won't, is what you're saying. Okay, well, I see how it's going to be today. I guess I'm going to have to do everything my damn self, as usual. From bait and hooks to net and fish, the whole 9 yards. I'm going to have to do it all. One of these days, y'all are going to decide to help me out. That day ain't going to be today, apparently. Get over here, fish. Get in this net. Get in there. Okay, all right, we got you now. We got you. Come up here and watch this sunrise with us, fish. Oh, as we lose him out the net, there we go. Get up here and watch this sunrise. It's going to be a hell of a sight today. All right. Let's see where you're hooked at there, sir. Looks like you are hooked right in the side of the face. Let's get our pliers on. I got to be careful with these thinner wire hooks that you don't bend them getting the hook out. I ain't had any fish bend a hook yet with these thinner wires since I've been using them, but I've broke a couple myself just taking them out of fish. All right, well, you know what? Since this is fish number one and I'm feeling just hospitable today, I'm going to put the camera up here in the front mount. Now we'll give him his moment of fame. How does that make you feel, fish? Does it make you feel good about yourself? Oh, you ain't getting it long, fish, because your other buddy over there, he's wanting to steal your thunder. There he is. We gotta get him going. We gotta get him going because this one's going down. Bait that other rod over there for me, folks. Oh, goodness gracious. We call it, oh, and I just lost him. Boy, what a jerk that fish was. Stole his friend's moment of fame and then let the bait go. All right, his bait's still hooked good. Still looks good. Let's send it back down. Goodness gracious, we're off to a start here, y'all. I love that sunrise bite, man. Yeah, I mean, it's just there's a bite at sunrise often enough that you can say there's something to it. Fish could eat any hour of any day, but when, and you know, tell that fish to hold on. We're gonna bait this one up here first. Send it down. Let's get another bait down there. But I mean, fish could bite any hour of any day. But, and it could just be too because I'm on the water at sunrise so much that I'm able to take advantage of this time period. And if the only time you fish is in the mornings, well, of course, that's when you're going to get bit, right? But I do see, and here's this bait, by the way. What I do see when I fish the mornings and get on a morning bite is you will see the bite taper as the day goes on, or just drop off. Like you'll have a bite for 30 minutes, an hour, whatever, and then that'll be all the action you get for the morning. And I've seen that a bunch too. So I mean, in my mind, I think there's enough evidence to say that that thing just got hit. Did you see that? Just dropped it down there and it already got nipped. I ain't seeing a lot on the screen right now. You see 37 feet. There we are on the contours there. My screen's dirty. I threw that cast net yesterday. I got mud all over everything. By gosh, we're got the skunk out already as the sun is just now. There it goes, folks. Watch that sunrise. Beautiful sight, man. We're going to get a good view of it this morning too. A little bit of cloud cover over there, but the sun is coming up over the trees and before that next cloud, so we're going to get all of it. And that first look at the sun's always the best. It's even better when you don't have like the trees blocking, you know, like sometimes if you've ever been to the beach and you can see it right as it comes up over the edge of the water. The lower you can see the sun coming up, that's when all the colors are the best, but still, and just popping up over the trees, and you feel the warmth on your face, and you realize you've survived another day. You know, you've survived another night, another rotation of the earth. It's a hell of a feeling, man. I love it. I ain't done much of it the last week. I'll tell you, so here's how everything went down, y'all. For those of you that are regular fishing buddies of mine on these trips. So last week, come out, we filmed, and I was filming in my native Slayer kayak, which I no longer own. I sold that this past week. But I was filming in that kayak because I had torn this one up. Had 3 holes in this thing on the back there. And in my channel members, I filmed that whole thing, so my channel members have seen me, not only that seen the holes, but they've seen me repair it by the time this video comes out. But here's what I think happened. I think when I've been specifically, I don't think it's a problem when I'm launching the kayak, but I think when I'm loading it at the end of the trip, I'm oftentimes putting in, like today I've put in at a concrete boat ramp. Other times it might be a rocky shoreline, whatever. Just rough, abrasive areas, right? Things that are hard on plastic. Well, here's what I think's happened. When I'm loading this thing up in the truck at the end of a trip, I'm got my hand on that front handle and I'm pulling it as I'm lifting it to set the front end up on the tailgate. Then I walk around the back, lift it up, push it in, right? I think my arm angle, as I'm like dragging the kayak that last foot or two to get the front end up on the tailgate, I think my arm angle's been too low. And so the back of the kayak, instead of getting just the pressure being put on the kind of sacrificial skid plates back there, it's been getting on the bottom of the hull of the kayak. And so I had gotten some abrasion. And I'd worn that area thin because this particular model, this is a Hobie Lynx, it's not a normal rotomolded kayak. Normal rotomolded kayaks, they're thicker. The plastics, it's just plastic. This is a thin shell of a plastic, two thin shells that come together over foam. It's kind of a paddleboard or surfboard. Imagine that if in your mind, if you will, as the sun gets a little brighter now, as it gets a little higher. I may have to put my shades on here in a second. So anyway, the thin plastic hull of this is, you don't have a lot to work with as far as abrasion goes. Anyway, I think my arm angle wasn't high enough, and I've been dragging the last foot before them skid plates on the back of the kayak. I've been dragging that on the boat ramps and gravel and stuff like that. So it worn thin. And then I got 3 punctures there. And I think, doing a little thought, kind of just thinking about how I fished and what could have caused that, I think probably what happened, I've done some carp trips where I have pulled the back end of the kayak up on the shore to hold myself in place, and then I have sat in the kayak with rods and the rod holders while I'd be casting out and fishing stuff. I bet you when I pulled the kayak up on the shore and then set back down in it, putting my weight on it, since that area was already thin where it had worn down from the abrasion, I bet you if I was sitting on like a jagged rock or something with an edge to it and I put my weight down on it, it probably punctured. And that's probably what put the holes in there. So I don't know how long those holes had actually been there. The nice thing about this particular model is because it's just foam wrapped in plastic, is even if you get a puncture and a little bit of water gets in there, you're not going to sink because you're still sitting on foam, right? So I don't know exactly when the holes happened, but I just happened to notice them last week. And so I brought the native kayak that I had. I brought it out, fished. We had a good trip here. I had caught several fish, hooked that one that was really big and took forever to land. That would have been the last video there for regular viewers. And then we had a couple days of foul weather, and I had to order the supplies to repair the other one. And I ended up just kind of piddling around there. I sold the native. I'd had it listed for sale before I realized I'd damaged this one, and I found a buyer for it. And then part of my supplies came on one day, and the others came the next. And yeah, here we are, blah, 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 blah. It's been a week now since I fished, but I was several videos ahead. So we're not having any kind of disruption to the video schedule as far as regular viewers goes. But we have had a little break in my actual fishing, which is unfortunate because this time of year, I mean, we're up against the spawn here. If there's not already some fish spawning, it's coming soon. And you gotta take advantage while you can, man, because what's that bite? Boy, these dang geese. I wish they'd take advantage of being able to fly and go somewhere else. You can fly anywhere, geese. I think them are Canadian geese. Go back to Canada. Go home. We got too many people coming to Tennessee already. We don't need no more geese. No more geese, no more people. We're closed. So anyway, y'all, I missed a full week here of primetime potential fishing action, because once we get into the spawn, a big fish bite it don't completely disappear. Like, I'm still going to bust some fish from time to time throughout the summer. But, hold on, we got something. Speaking of busting, we got something busting over here behind us. I heard them, but now I turn on the camera around and I don't see them now. Got just a little bit of fog on the water here as the sun comes up. We had a little bit of rain last night. I think that's caused A little bit of rain last night, a little bit cooler temperature this morning. I think it's caused a little bit of this fog. Whatever's busting, I don't see it now. But I was trying to say, like, when the spawn starts, you'll catch an occasional big fish. Because how this works, if you're not familiar with how catfish do when they're on the nest, so the male fish, they will go in, make the bed, etc. The female comes in, drops the eggs, then she leaves. She gets the heck out of Dodge. Her work's done. She says, see you later, male fish. I'm gone. You handle my light work here. So the male fish then stay behind. They guard the fry for a while. So why it becomes a little bit more difficult as far as catching big fish goes is half of your fish population, the male fish, are on the nest. And they're actively guarding their fry. And catfish are usually kind of cavity spawners, meaning they're going to look for areas that they can get up under. So like you see people, the noodlers. The noodlers are the people who like grab catfish with their hands, right? I'm sure you've seen videos and social media posts of people do that. Well, there's a time period when they're able to do that, and it's during the spawn. And so oftentimes, they'll put out boxes, these underwater boxes that are three-sided. They'll have one side open that a fish can go up in, and the others will be enclosed. So when they're doing their hand grabbing, they'll get up there and block off the entrance of that box, reach their hand in, and when that fish bites, they grab it, yank it out. Well, why was that fish in there to begin with? Well, it was in there to spawn. Because again, they're cavity spawners. They like to be kind of in something. So if a noodler has put out one of them boxes in the shallows, there's probably a catfish that's going to find it. Or they'll find something comparable to it. So you'll find along the shoreline, sometimes up under boat ramps, man, there'll be kind of dugout areas under the concrete. Catfish will get up in there. If you're along the shoreline and you got a big root ball of a tree, oftentimes that'll get kind of washed out as our water levels fluctuate, or undercut banks, or along the rocks over here and stuff. There'll be little crevices and whatnot that they can get in there, and that's where they'll lay their eggs. So those male fish, even if you wanted to target them with rod and reel, it can be difficult to do so because it's hard to get a bait in front of them if they're up inside something. But you do still have the opportunity to catch the females, because once they've done their part, dropping the eggs, they go back out and they're living their normal life. So you'll still bust a big fish throughout the summer, because you'll either catch a female fish or you will get a fish that either spawned early or hasn't spawned yet, because most of the fish will go on the nest around the same time. But you'll have some that went super early, and you'll have some that go super late. So there's always an opportunity to catch big fish. But what you do get during the summer is an opportunity to catch a lot of fish, because there's a lot of catfish that aren't mature enough to spawn, but it's summertime and the water temperature's up. Metabolism's up, and those fish are aggressive and willing to feed. So you'll oftentimes go out in June, July, August and have days where you catch a lot of fish, but not necessarily have any size to them. But over the course of summer, I'm gonna bust a big fish or two or three. I mean, it happens every year. I get some big fish, but it's just not as common as what it's going to be in, say, the months of April and May here, because they're leading up to the spawn. Both the males and the females are active and aggressive, and they're feeding up, especially those male fish, because they know when they go on the nest, they're going to have some, they're going to be putting their bodies at a, and it's weird, like, I mean, they're not, unless we assume they don't communicate, but it's like instinctively they know they need to feed up and put on some weight, because they're going to be not eating as much when they're guarding their fry and stuff. So, yeah, and of course, when you get out of the spawn, man, you start catching fish. You'll see them where they're all beat up and stuff. They're marked up because they've been going in those crevices and whatnot. So they'll have abrasions, scratches all over them. They'll be oftentimes skinny post-spawn where they've lost a bunch of weight. So right now, the spring leading up to the spawn, you got fish that are fat, that are aggressive. That's why I like fishing the spring, man. So I'm hoping we get into some of that today. It certainly seemed like we were off to a bang there. Got that one fish, got a couple other bites, and then now we've sat here a few hours. Man, when they get me excited like that a few minutes into the trip, I'm ready to catch them one after another after another. I actually do want to. This rod did get hit right after we put it back down. Let me just make sure we still got a bait on there. Okay, that's good. I'm pretty confident the head bait. We'll reel it up and check it too, but the head bait's harder to rip off. These body sections with the thinner wire hooks are going to be far more likely to get ripped off by a small fish that maybe gets the bottom half of the bait or something and pulls on it. Let's just check this one too, just make sure. Just to be safe. We don't want to sit down there with a bare hook, especially if we're only running 2 rods. Yeah, it looks good. Back down it goes. Get everything reset. So, anyway, I don't know how today's going to go, but when we fished this spot last week, it was a heck of a morning. And I'm hoping to have another morning like that. Now, if you're seeing this video, it means we got some fish. I can't tell you how many. I can't tell you if it's blues, flatheads, channels. Can't tell you what size they are, we don't know at this point. At this point right now, you have information that I don't have. And what I mean by that is, it's like the fact that this video got posted means we got some fish. So, something good happened here today. I don't know that at the present time. Right? Like, I have no idea what's going to happen. But you seeing this video pop up as an option for you to click on, that lets you know, spoiler alert, we got some fish. And I don't just mean that one we got earlier. Now, I have posted some of these longer videos where there's only been a couple fish. But when I've done that, it's been big fish. And I've done some videos like this where there's been only some small fish, but it's been a few small fish, several small fish. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it to you instead of film something 3 or 4 hours long and we get bit. Well, it's a fun sizer, we'll call it. We get one of those 5 minutes in, then nothing for the next 3 hours. I ain't going to subject you to it. That's one of them trips we'll just scrap. It happens. I scrap some throughout the year, man. I do. Some days you just ain't got it. Some days, it's funny. Some days the fishing ain't having it, right? Like they're just, you in the wrong place, the wrong time, wrong spot. You just ain't on them. And then there's other times where I just ain't on it, or I just can't talk. Maybe I'm fumbling my words. Maybe I just ain't feeling like talking that day. Like I don't know. Sometimes, some days you just ain't got it. It's the only way I can explain it. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But I'm feeling spry this morning though, by gosh. So we're gonna hopefully bust. I want to get a big one today, man. I just want to. It's been a week. Like I'm ready to battle a monster today. So let me circle back though to fixing this kayak. So it's fixed now, I hope. I took it out yesterday, no issues to get our bait there. I wasn't on the water long, but when I got back, everything looked good. So here's what I done. I ordered a couple products. Hobie recommends that you use a material called, I don't know how to say the name of it, Solar As or Solar Ease. I'm honestly not sure how it's, oh, we got hit. Is he sitting there holding it, or did he just smack the bait and go on? I think he's got it. I think our line is kind of swimming out. He does. Well, he don't now. Our line was kind of going out toward the sun over there. All right. He's going to have to do better than that if he wants that bait. That's a big head right there. Do better, fish. You're going to have to... Truth be told, it's probably a small one. He needs to leave it alone till one of his bigger brothers or sisters comes through. Better yet, one of his grandparents. So anyhow, Hobie recommends this material called Solar As, Solar Ease, whatever. It's an epoxy with like a fiberglass component to it, and it cures very quickly. Now, it's expensive as hell. I bought a 2-ounce tube, which ain't very much. It was $30. It's ridiculous. But really, you should be carrying that stuff with you in the kayak, because if you did get a puncture and you knew about it, I could just go up to the shoreline, kind of dry the area off, apply that Solar As, let it sit in the sun for a minute or two and harden, and then it will seal the puncture and give the area a little strength and rigidity. So the areas, I had those 3 punctures there on the back of the kayak, but around those punctures, the plastic was like paper thin. Like I could take my finger and just flex it where it had gotten so thin. Well, I put that Solar As on there, and of course covered the holes, right? So we've sealed that off. But once it hardened, and that's the first time I'd ever used that stuff, I just applied it. I put a paint stick, like a wooden paint stick you get at the hardware store if you bought a gallon of paint or something. I took it and kind of lathered it over not only the punctured areas, but just all around it where it was real thin right there. And set the kayak in the sun, and man, within a minute or two, it was already starting to harden. And this fish right here is probably a hardened criminal trying to steal our bait. Another one kind of, I think he just kind of smacked it. I don't think he's got it. Well, I say that, now the line is kind of swimming out again. I'm gonna let him take it down. The line's at an angle. He may have dropped it. Yeah, I think he dropped it. Another tease. But anyhow, I put all that Solar As on there, covered the holes, and after it hardened, I couldn't take my finger and push in those thin areas anymore. Like it strengthened it, right? Or appeared to anyway. I'm like, well, great, you know. Oh, now this one's getting hit. That looks like a better takedown there. Oh, it is. It is. That one's better. This is a better fish. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, he's still on there. He rolled. I thought, oh man, we lost him, but he just, when he rolled, we got some slack right there. That's a big roll too. When it's a blue, but when he rolled, like it's a big gyration. This is a good fish. He's going up under the kayak. I don't want him to get in that anchor rope. Tell him to swim the other way. I really don't want to come on. I don't want him getting in the anchor rope, but I also don't want to come off anchor either if we can help it. We may end up doing it at some point, but I don't want to right now. I come off anchor there on that last trip with that really big fish. And it was a smart decision because he would have surely got us in the anchor rope if I hadn't. I don't think this one. Boy, I don't know. Them some big old rolls, man, when he does it. I'm hoping we can battle this thing and not get him in the rope. And this is another one kind of like that last week there, man, when we got that big one. He just stayed down. Like, he never fought super hard. He never made hard runs at any point. He just stayed down, and I would start to get a little progress on him. We would get him up, halfway up from the bottom, and then he would just make a slow run all the way back down. Boy, okay, this is gonna run now. At least he's going out that way. He's in that other line too. You see that? He's got another line over there. I guess we're gonna have a tangle. I'd rather him find that line than the rope though. But that other fish, man, he just stayed down. And I'd have him up and say, okay, we're about to see him. And then he'd go all the way back down. And that happened 4 or 5 times over the course of, I believe it was 43 minutes that it ended up taking. So it was a hell of a battle, hell of a memory, hell of a story. But we got it done in the end. We landed the daggone thing. Oh no, I've got that other line wrapped around the, it's up here at the top of the rod. Here, can we, boy, howdy, look at this. We're gonna lose the fish in the hand as we work that one back around. Looky there, folks. That's talent, buddy. That's talent. I untangled it before we even landed the fish. That's professional level work right there, buddy. Some of y'all keep practicing now and you can aspire to be that level someday. We got that fish swimming a long ways out from the anchor rope. We got him untangled. This is how it's supposed to go. If I could draw it up in my mind, this right here would be how we do it. I don't really know what to expect with this fish. I know it's a good one, but I don't really know at this point. Too early to gauge with this light tackle. It's kind of difficult to truly know how big a fish is till you lay eyes on it because everything feels big. You know what I mean? Like everything on the lighter gear. You feel every roll, every head shake, like you feel it all. Put a little pressure on him there, just kind of, that's about the only way to do it is like put your hand on the line completely, stop any drag for a second, and you can feel the weight, and this has got some weight to it. But I'm confident it's a blue because I keep feeling him roll. He's back up under us now, which is concerning. Look at him, man, he has doubled that rod over. This is the latest iteration of the Catfish Sumo light tackle rod that they're coming out with that is a work in progress. You know, we got the other one over there, a little bit too heavy. This one here is still a little bit heavier action than what I would ideally like. It's great for a fish like this, but yeah, you want them fish that are much smaller than this too to be enjoyable with this light tackle. And they are, but it ain't quite there yet. We got the next one's coming here soon. It'll hopefully, every one of these, we just keep making changes, man. We just keep dialing it in, and when it's ready, it's going to be It's going to be right. That's what I keep telling people. This ain't a fast process, but when it's done, it's going to be right. This fish right here says he's always right, and he'll be done when he's good and ready. I'm seeing some bubbles right there. We're getting him here, folks. It's slowly but surely, we're getting him up. Everything's going right so far. That's a good one. Oh boy, that's a good one right there. That's a good one. That was a splash right there beside us too. He's gonna make a run back down. We got eyes on him at least. We've seen him. I've seen him. I don't know if you did or not with lighting how it is. I don't know if you all could see down in the water or not. Yeah, he wanted to go back down, didn't he? He said, heck with this. He you know what it was? He forgot his sunglasses. He realized that sun's up and it's gonna hurt his eyes. So he said, I gotta go back down there and grab my shades, Justin. I'll be back in a minute. You just get whatever you need, fish. We'll be here. I'm gonna put my shades on in a minute too. Sunrise is getting earlier and earlier every day. Boy, he got in that dang line again, didn't he? There we did. We got him out of it once. I'd be doggone if he didn't get in it again. That's what he was going. He wasn't going down there to get his sunglasses. He was going down there to tangle up our other line. Oh, he bamboozled us. He pulled it wool right over our eyes. I bought his story, hook, line, and sinker, to use a fishing pun. And he was just going down there to get in our line. We got him back up here again. I think he come out of our line too. Ah, joke's on you, fish. Get your net over here, folks. Get it. Get it over here. It's time to net this thing before he goes down there another time. I ain't letting you go back down again, fish. Not after you last stunt. We know your games now, buddy. Let's hold this one up over here. I want to get a picture with this thing. Let's steer him back over here and get him in that net. Get in there. Oh, yes, we got him. Boy, help me land this thing here, folks. This is a heavy one right here. Boy. Oh, goodness. That's a heavy fish. My gosh. Here, let me give myself a little slack and set that over here. I need both hands for this thing. Golly bum. Oh, man, look at that. Oh, it's like, welcome back, Justin. You've been gone a minute. Welcome back. Okay. Let's get hold of this thing here. I got to be careful. This hook is right here in the side of the mouth. Let's get that out of the way first so we don't accidentally get stuck. Oh, y'all. This right here, buddy, is a whopper. Oh, there goes the other rod. I knew. I felt the kayak moving. It's going down too. It's going to have to wait. We got our hands full. I got to get this hook out here, man. It's down in the flesh. Oh, golly bum. Come on, fish. Give me that hook now. Here, why don't you just put your finger right there. Hold it that way. Hold it that way so I can get it down here. There, we got it. Okay. Is that other one over there still on? No, he let it go. He said he wasn't waiting on us. Okay. Oh, we got us a good one here, man. We got us a good one. That camera, how's that camera look? Let's set that there. How's that? That looks better. This is a tank, man. He has got some, or she, whatever, has got some weight to it. Look at this. That's awesome. Yes. Oh man, you were a battle, buddy. A battle. All right. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna lean. No. And down he goes. Oh, buddy. All right, our trip's made. We can go to the house now. Just kidding, we ain't going nowhere. We're gonna drop another bait down. But our trip is made. Anytime I get one like that, that's a good trip. And we just got him. But we're gonna try to get some more. Here's what I'm gonna do. Let me get y'all back here. Let's grab another shad. And I am gonna, even though this head bait's still on, well, I assume it's still on after that last fish hit it, but I'm gonna go ahead and switch it out. We're just gonna refresh everything here. As even if that bait, I mean, it's been hit how many times now? Let's get a fresh piece on. We've got so much shad. I had a really good, productive bait run yesterday, so I mean, we've got a lot of bait. Let's just go ahead and spruce everything up. Let me feel our line here, just make sure that we don't have any abrasion. Feels good. Hook looks good, don't have any bent hook point. But I'll tell you, that's perfect. That's perfect, friends. Let's drop this down, and then we'll reel up our other one over here. You know, you know something, folks? I think we got a fish on there. Look at our line angle. You see that? I think we got one on. Could it be that? Well, we picked up on that thing, and he was gone. But our line is sitting over here at an angle. Look at this. No. Oh, you know what I bet it was? That fish pulled some drag. I bet we had some slack in the line that the current had maybe swept out a little bit. That was probably it. That fish just wanted me to look dumb. Yeah, you look at this bait here. You see how all the stuffing's been knocked out of it, and the meat up here's kind of pale where it's bled out. We'll toss that. Let's get us a new one on, new piece. All right, by gosh. Boy, y'all done got you good out here, didn't you? You done gone and done it today. We got our whopper. We'll hopefully get another whopper too. Get us a few whoppers out here would be great if it could happen. Let me close my cooler again here. Okay. Oh, buddy, y'all, fish number 2 was going to set the bar for the rest of the fish today. Whew. That was fun, folks. That was a dang good time right there. That was, I knew when you could just feel him rolling. Like when a small fish rolls, it's like a tight circle. But when a big one does it, I mean, just because of the size and the girth of the fish, like it's big gyrations, and you can feel that with these lighter rods. Sometimes with the heavier gear, like you'll feel them rolling, but it's more detailed. Like there's more, you've got more feel to it with the lighter gear. So I knew it was a good fish. I just didn't know how good exactly until we got a look at him. Glad we didn't come off the anchor though. That's kind of every time you hook up to a good fish with the light gear, it's like, you're in this battle with yourself. Like, do I come off anchor or do I chance it? Because if I run that light line across the anchor rope, you get that friction, you're done. You're going to snap it, right? Or you're going to work the line down to the hook and pop that hook. I've had that happen some too. But when you do come off anchor, to fight the big fish. He's going to tow you around, pull you off and whatnot. Well, you're getting pulled off the spot. And we know we're in the right spot because we're right here off the edge where this creek comes up. So this is where we want to be set up for catching the most number of active fish working in and out of this creek, right? Like that's the reasoning behind how we've set up how we have. And if we get pulled off that and that fish maybe has a friend come with him, because oftentimes these fish will travel in packs, sometimes large schools, sometimes just a handful of fish. Well, they usually have, your really large fish will sometimes be solitary, but they'll oftentimes be together. And so if you get pulled off and there's other fish around, like, you may miss those opportunities on that fish. And with us, I mean, granted, we've only got 2 rods. We can only hook up to 2 at a time anyway. But still, if you come off anchor, you're going to miss that. And then you've got more downtime because when you release that fish, then you got to come back over, get your anchor again, tie off to it again. So it's more efficient to stay on anchor and fight it. But it is a gamble because if he does end up in the rope and whoa, that body section got a little tap. But like I was saying, man, it's a gamble because if he ends up in the rope, you're going to break off potentially. And the fish like that, I mean, it's so big, you can't force him to do. He's going to go where he wants to go until you get him tired down and can get him up. So like you're not going to be able to steer him away from the rope, especially when the rope is what? I mean, our rope is tied off right here on that cleat. So from here to there is, I mean, you're talking less than 10 feet. And you might say, well, Justin, why not let out more rope? Well, you can do that if you got some current. But out here today, there's a little bit of flow this morning, but not much. And so what would happen is you let out a bunch of rope and then the wind blows, or you get hit with boat wake, or a fish starts moving the kayak and you hooked up to something, and now you've got a bunch of slack rope down there as the kayak gets moved all over creation, and that's just more opportunity for the fish to get wrapped up in it. I would rather my line, in a situation like this where we're fin fishing, I would rather my anchor line be vertical, straight up and down, no slack whatsoever. That way we sit in place first off. Like if we're in an area, and it's not as big a deal today because we're off this drop, right? We're off the bottom edge of the ledge here where we're at. But sometimes, let's say I'm in a situation where I'm anchored and I am in like an old creek channel, let's say, because this is something I do regularly. I'll anchor down in an old creek channel in these reservoirs. A creek channel that was there before the reservoir was made, meaning it used to be a small creek that flowed into the river, and then when the dams were built, they made the reservoirs, the water came up, and so that entire creek and the surrounding areas around it got submerged. Well, in that situation, that old creek channel may not be very wide. And so I want that anchor straight down under me. That way I can keep my baits in that old channel. If you give yourself too much rope and too much freedom of movement with the kayak, you may end up way out of that channel. Or if there's a significant drop from the depth of the bottom of that old creek channel to the sides and you're getting blown around every which way, well, you're either going to have your baits too high off the bottom, or you're going to end up getting snagged when you come up on the sides of it there. So that's the reason why I like to do it. Now, if we were, this fish he likes the way he's doing it too, Dane. He's going to get down there and act a fool. This one ain't going to be as big as his friend. I hate to disappoint you. That other one, though, he set the bar high, and it's going to be hard to exceed it today. I hope it does get exceeded, but this one ain't going to do it. This one's going to be a little bit smaller here. He's got a big heart, but a little bit smaller. This is going to be 3 fish now on the chunk. The head's been hit numerous times, but we ain't landed nothing on the head yet. Yeah, he's rolling every which way. Oh, we've got one on, speaking of the head, we've got one on it over here. Here. We know this one here's a dinkety-doo. Is that oh, it's a dang channel cat too. Heck with him, we don't want him. Let's get his friend over here. Well, his friend's gone. Did his friend get our bait? I think his friend stole our bait. No, it didn't either, it's still on there. All right, let's send it down and we'll land our channel cat. I didn't come out here catching no channel cats today, folks. You all gonna have to handle my light work here. I ain't dealing with these old ornery things. Although, when our fish go on the nest here, I am gonna make a trip up to Sandusky Bay in Ohio, catch some channel cats. But we'll be catching them up there. We'll be catching them a lot bigger than this one. You get them 30-inch plus fish up there. Come here, channel cat. I don't even want to bring you in here if I can help it. Come over here. Come over here and act like somebody. Act like you've done this before, channel cat. He may never done it before, for all I know. Okay. No, why'd you do that? I wasn't done with you yet. I gotta get the hook out before you take off now. You got a weird shaped mouth. I feel like his mouth is very small. Maybe it's a female. The female blues have smaller mouths than the males do. Okay, there we go. That ain't a bad, I mean, for channel cats in my area, that ain't bad. But it's still a channel cat, and we don't like them. I don't like them anyway. I don't want to catch blues and flatheads. Let me grab another shad here. This one here's a smaller one, but we'll use the body off of it anyway. Make a decent sized bait out of it. That old tail out of here. Come here, hook. We gotta get you baited now. We're getting some activity here, folks, right here after sunrise. That sun's getting higher in the sky by the second, though, ain't it? I feel like it's slow coming up, but then it takes off once it gets above the trees. Every fish landed, though, has been on the body section. They have hit the head, but we can't get them to commit in such a way that gets the hook, too. Very interesting. Matters not to me what they ultimately eat. We just want to catch them. That's why we give them options. In case there is one bait that's outperforming the others, we can hopefully have that option available to them. What was I talking about? We got interrupted on the story of fixing the kayak, and then we got interrupted on the anchor. So I get my shades on here. I'm gonna have to put them on now. The sun's bright. I think we finished up the anchor part. Hopefully that'll tell you why I anchor, how I anchor. You know, to each their own. Like, I mean, if we were fishing, say, a ledge that was, maybe we're anchored down and we're casting baits out. In that situation, we'll let out more line because precision ain't important in that type of situation. But when we're fishing a spot and I want to have baits on that spot, the only way to ensure that, when we're suspend fishing day and we're fishing vertically, the only way to ensure that is to be anchored right on that spot so I can drop baits down directly on it. And if you've got a bunch of play, a bunch of loose rope there, and no current to keep you in place, well, it's just tough to do. So that's how I do, that's why I do if I get my words out, that's why I do things the way I do them. But doing them that way does offer more opportunities to lose some fish to the anchor rope. So it's just one of them things. It's one of the hazards of the job here. If you're gonna do things like this, it's just how it's gonna be. You're gonna lose a fish to the anchor rope occasionally. Back to the kayak though. So after I got the solar res applied, covered the holes, it felt like it gave it a little bit more rigidity in the areas that had worn down and gotten paper thin. Like when it hardened, it gave you a layer of protection there. But I went ahead too and put on some patches, some fiberglass patches. They're called Gator Guard patches. Another thing that's way overpriced for what it is, man. Those patches were, I bought them from a company called Fish USA, and I was able to sign up for a text message thing, so I got 20% off the order for giving them my phone number to sell to everybody. I'll probably be getting, I already get telemarketers bugging the hell out of me every day. This fish is going to try to bug me right now, ain't he? He's done interrupted this story I was about to tell, playing with that bait. Well, go ahead and eat it one time. Here, let me just jerk that rod. We'll put that hook right into him, won't we? Interrupt my story. We'll show this fish. I was about to tell y'all something enlightening, and he didn't want you to know it. He said the truth is too powerful to come out. Now, he don't want anybody knowing anything. This fish here is like our government. He wants to keep us dumb. Well, it's a flathead. I'll be doggone. Looky here, we done got us it's a baby flathead, but it's a flathead nonetheless. Come here, flathead. I ain't seen too many of you. I ain't had a good year at all on flatheads to this point. Caught very few, and most of them that I've gotten have been about this size, it seems like, just tiny. Here's what I'm gonna do with this thing. Well, I'm apparently gonna struggle like hell to get the hook out. It's the first thing I'm gonna do with this thing. Give me a hook, come on now. Boy, we got him right there in the dang tooth patch. Okay, I'm gonna turn this way so we can kind of get him in the light a little bit and look at his colors. You ain't front camera worthy, flathead, but you got some beautiful colors. Nice. All right, buddy, we'll see you. Go on now. Go think about what you've done. We got this other head bait. It's small, but it's laying out here. Let's just go ahead and stick it on. Let's go ahead and put it on there. We'll use it. Ain't no sense in being wasteful now. All right, let's drop that down. Well, we've got the trifecta. Blues, flatheads, channels. The channel cat wasn't, I mean, granted, it's not a big fish, but for this area, that was a good channel cat. The flathead, though, was many pounds and inches short of what a good flathead here would be. I promise you there's some bigger flatheads probably. I mean, gosh, there's probably a giant flathead laying somewhere along these rocks or this ledge or in this creek. Like, this is the feeding ground for a giant flathead, I promise you. Now, we may not ever see it or come in contact with it, but I'd be willing to bet you a shiny nickel that there is a giant flathead that calls this particular area home. That's just, will we ever see it? Who knows? Probably not. It's a case with most areas, I'd say. But I'm going to try to get this damn story finished eventually. So I buy these patches from Fish USA. They're stupid, ridiculously priced, but I give them my phone number there so they can sell it to every telemarketer. Because at this point, I mean, like, hell, I think every telemarketer out there already has my phone number because my phone gets called every single day. I got that thing on my phone now, that last Apple update. Like, now my phone don't even, well, it still does sometimes. But like now, if they think it's a spam call, it won't even ring my phone. Like, I'll show a missed call, but it won't actually ring to annoy me. But I'm sure Fish USA is probably going to sell my phone number to whoever because I took that 20% discount. But I did get a 20% discount by signing up for it. So that helped ease the cost of them damn patches anyway. But they're a fiberglass patch. And they're, oh, the body section got hit. It's about to go down. Look at it. Look at it. Okay. This is another one right here that's going to run. Yeah, this is a little better one. Here we go. This ain't going to be the channel cat or the small flathead, buddy. This is going to be a better one. He's rolling. It felt like a little bit better roll too. Yep, there's a feeding period happening now. They're working up, and we're right here to take advantage. Yeah, that's a big roll. Boy, he rolled big time then. We'll just sit here and catch them as long as they want to eat. And then by the time they get done, it'll probably be time for me to eat. That's a hell of a day, folks. You come out, feed some breakfast to the catfish, and by the time you're done doing that, it's time to have some lunch for yourself. That's a strong one too. I don't know how big he's going to end up being, but he's strong. When he made that last run there, like you can feel the strength of him. Another big roll. Just huge gyrations. Let's see if we can get him up here and take a look at him. I'm curious. I think it's probably going to be my guess on this one will be a fun sizer. Would be my guess. I'm seeing some big bubbles coming right there, though. He's definitely releasing that as he comes up. It's one of the perks of doing this, man. Because you can't horse them up, they're able to release unless they just happen to come straight. Oh, no! I never got a look at him. Never saw him. Something went wrong. Well, the hook popped free, I guess. He may have been hooked in the flesh or something and just popped right out. He slimed us up real good. Lord days, he slimed us up. Leader line still feels good. Hook point, good and sharp. He just, I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Let's grab another bait. See if we can get another opportunity. Get another one of these smaller shad here. I don't know, what do you think? 5-inch range probably. We'll leave a little bit more of the meat on this one's head there. That way we can maybe use it here soon if we can get that other head bait eaten. Definitely at this point we've had enough action on the midsection pieces to let me know that there's definitely an interest in that, more so than the head baits. I mean, they're side by side. They got their pick when they come up. They can take either one they want. The fact this one keeps getting the solid hookups and the head's just getting tapped a little bit, that's very telling. But again, it don't matter. Who cares what cut they're eating as long as we're able to offer them the option. I'm not going to put on a second body section over there in place of the head, because the heads are just, I've caught too many huge fish on head baits historically to not want one on at all times. Like, I always want to have a head bait on, always. But, so, I ain't never gonna get the story done. These patches, man, they're flexible fiberglass patches. You peel one side, put it on the area, take it out, put the kayak in the sun, peel the other layer off on the back side of it, and that exposes it to the UV light and it hardens. And it only took a few minutes for it to cure, to harden there, but when it did, like, it just gave me another layer of protection on top of that Solar-S stuff. And I covered that whole area, and I am going to order some more patches because I noticed I've got some wear kind of from the pedal drive to my keel guard up front, which I think is being caused by the bed liner in my truck, because that area, not only is it kind of worn, but it was black, like the color of my bed liner in the truck. So I've got some more of those patches ordered, and when they get here, I'm going to cut them to fit that area. But I think we've fixed this thing. We've sealed the holes, we've strengthened the area, and I think we're back in the game. And I'm going to try to be more consciously aware of my arm angle when I'm loading and unloading it out of the truck. And hopefully it'll prevent that in the future. And when I do these carp trips and stuff coming up, like, I'm not going to, if I'm going to be fishing on the bank, I'm just going to take a chair with me. I'm not going to sit in the kayak put my weight pressing down on the rocks, if that makes sense. I'm pretty sure that's what caused the punctures. That would be the most logical reason why. But now, if I did fix my kayak on a members video, so if that's important to any of y'all, you may check that out. This style of kayak is a little bit more of a pain in the ass to fix. And I was talking about that with my channel members. Like, if you've got a normal roto-molded, just normal plastic kayak, and you get some wear on it, or a puncture, or maybe you just wear it down, you get a hole in the keel or something, it is super easy to fix. You just need some scrap plastic and a heat gun. Now, most kayak dealers will give you some scrap plastic, because a lot of kayaks, and I've got a whole bunch of plastic at the house that a dealer would give me, because most of the time, kayaks will come in like big plastic bags. Like, they'll put a big sheet of plastic around them to ship. And on the end of the plastic bag where they tie it off, they'll put a little piece of plastic, like a little circular disc. And that's how you'll know, let's say a kayak dealer, pick a kayak, I don't know, maybe they got 5 Hobie Outbacks, right, in their storage unit or storage area, and a customer wants a blue one. Well, they'll go back there and they'll have like all them Hobie Outbacks stacked up, and they'll have that little disc with a piece of plastic, and it'll show the color, and that's how they'll know which one to grab. Well, most time them dealers just throw that extra plastic away. Well, I've got a bunch of it that a dealer had given me, and so when I've needed to fix one of my other kayaks in the past, or an area's getting worn or whatever, you just take that scrap plastic, take a heat gun. This fish here is going to take a bite of that bait. He let it go. Now he's back on it. Has he got it? I think he's got it, folks. The rod keeps bouncing. I don't think we want him to have it, but he's got it. He's got it there. We're going to reel him up. It's going to be a small one. He's probably going to be as big as the flathead we got earlier. He ain't worth getting excited about, I'll tell you that. Even the light tackle rod, he can barely bend it. Yeah, it's a little tiny blue here. It's eater. Well, them old sandwich fish right here. This one here, he ain't even big enough to have gotten contaminated yet. Why don't you unhook yourself here, fish? Get me all sopping wet too, why don't you? Come on. Let's wrangle you up in here, you old monster, you. This is a future river monster right here. A long time in the future. But he'll get there someday. Best of luck to you, fish. Godspeed. What do we do with that other head? There it is, down the pedal drive. Well, hang on, folks, hang on here. I've lost that dang... There it is. It fell down in the pedal drive there. Now, ready. It's another small head, but we'll roll with it. We'll go ahead and put it on. Ain't no sense in being wasteful. We'll work through them. There we go. Oh, lordy days, we got to, okay, no, now it's still wrapped around. How did y'all get that line wrapped? Did y'all do that while I wasn't looking there? Probably played jokes on me. Lord, it's tangled up every which way. There we go. Well, how the hell that happened? All right, let's drop it back down. But I was saying, boy, something, I don't think the camera's at the right angle. There was a shad jumping all the way across the water surface there. Something was chasing it. But roto-moto kayaks, man, it's so simple. If you got a heat gun, and you can get a heat gun, they're basically like a high-powered hair dryer, if you will. You know a hair dryer, if you ever used one, it blows hot air, right? It dries a woman's hair. Well, a heat gun just gets a little hotter. And they're cheap. You get them 20, 30 bucks. I don't know how much they are now, actually, but I can't imagine they're more than $20, $30. I've had mine forever. But you go to any Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart may have them, but get you a heat gun, and you heat the bottom of your kayak. Get it shiny. Don't melt it, but get the plastic on your kayak shiny. Look here. Look here, right here. That new head we just dropped down, already getting attention. You let it go. But you get your kayak shiny, then you take your scrap plastic and you heat it more. You get it almost kind of liquidy. You get it kind of where it's melting. And you start applying it to your kayak. And where you've heated your kayak and now you've melted the scrap, when it cools, it's going to bond together. So you can add as many layers as you need to build up the area that's worn down. And this fish is going to wear this bait down here. He's swimming out to the side with it. I think you may let it go. Got some non-committing fish right now. Ain't no free meals in this place, fish. You either going to get the hook or you get nothing. But it's a simple process. It can be, depending on how much plastic you need to add, if you've worn a hole completely in your kayak, it'll take a little longer and take more plastic, certainly. But it's simple and it's cheap to do. Something like this, which is more the paddleboard style, where you've got styrofoam in there and just a thin shell of plastic around it, you can't fix it in the same way. That's where you got to use the epoxies and you've got to use the patches. And that's where it gets a little bit more time consuming and it gets a little bit more expensive because you got to buy all this crap that you don't have to do with a regular roto-moto kayak. So it's kind of one of the things like, well, Justin, why don't you just use roto-moto kayak? Well, I've been there and done that, and this is more fun. The paddleboard style, this hole, it's faster, it's more enjoyable to fish off of. I like this kayak. This is my favorite kayak I've ever had. And it's super lightweight, but the sacrifice you make for a lightweight kayak is you lose durability. You know, a roto-moto kayak is going to be way more durable, but you're also going to be damn near double the weight. Like you can't have it all, at least not at present time. You can't have really good durability and really lightweight. Those two they contradict each other. Pick your poison. Now, in my case, because I fish so much and because I use so many concrete boat ramps and rocky shorelines, I need some durability, but I just enjoy being in this platform so much more. It's just, like that native Slayer I filmed the last video in. It's a fun kayak, man. It's short. It's lighter weight. It's not as light as this, but it's lighter than some of the bigger rotomotor kayaks. But it just ain't the same. Like, I can't, if you've fished out of both, you'll understand. But if you haven't, it's hard for me to verbalize it in such a way to be able to explain it. But you just feel the difference. Like, I can't really describe the difference, but you can feel it when you're sitting in it and you're battling a big fish and you're getting towed around and spun all over creation. Like, it's just more fun. So anyway, I'd got that native Slayer last year, and I used it a few times, and it's a fine kayak. It was just didn't suit my needs. There was two big flaws with it for how I fish. Number one was speed. It was a very slow kayak. It was the slowest pedal kayak I had ever owned. I told that fella that bought it, I told him, it's like, man, if you're looking for speed, don't get this kayak. But he didn't care about that. It wasn't what he wanted it for. But it was slow. And then the pedal drive cover, there's hooks to hold that down in place with a bungee. And those would always catch my cast net. And I'm having to cast net for bait a lot more now because I can't catch skipjack anywhere. I've had a really hard time the last 2 years catching skipjack. I've pretty much just give up on it. So I'm throwing the net a lot. And every time I would bring the net in to that native Slayer, it would get hung on those hooks on the pedal drive. So that kayak just didn't really suit my needs. So I'd listed it for sale because I'd got it last summer and I hadn't used it in months. I said, I'm going to list it for sale because I had 2 channel members that were interested in it. And I give them first shot at everything. And one of them I'd held it all winter for. And he was going to get it in the spring and some stuff come out. He couldn't do it. So the other fellow that wanted it, if he couldn't get it, I held it for him for a little while and he wasn't able to take it. So I finally listed it for sale to the public. And that's where I found this guy. And he actually only lived like a couple miles away from me that come and got it. But I'd listed it for sale and then realized I had this kayak damaged. And then I was like, well, maybe I should keep that native Slayer. Then I was like, no, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get me another Hobie Lynx. When I find another good deal on a used one, like I don't want to go buy a new one, but if I find a good deal, and it may take a while, maybe in the winter, that's when you find the best deals on used kayaks, but I'll keep an eye out. And when I do find a deal on one, I'll go ahead and get it. And that way I'll have a backup. If something goes wrong with this one, I can immediately go into the other one while I fix this one. And I'll have another set of parts on everything. And speaking of parts, so I was able to find another rudder system. Hobie, ever since they've switched ownership to Bass Pro, well, even before that, you couldn't get parts. Like if you need replacement parts for anything, best of luck finding it. You better hope you've got a dealer that don't have a website, because any dealer with a website is cleaned out of parts at this point. But there was a person who had posted, I guess they work for a dealer that don't have a website, and they had posted in a Hobie Links group on Facebook there that they had a rudder in stock. And it's the whole rudder assembly, like the rudder, the steering line, your steering handle here, the whole shebang. And so I called as soon as I saw that post, I called their shop. I'm like, do you still have it? Yeah, we sure do. I was like, will you ship it? And they would. $25 though. $25 for shipping. They gouged me on that, man. Like that, I don't know how much it cost to ship it. Probably $10. They made a profit on that. But now I have a backup. And, well, I haven't got it yet. It should be arriving any day. But I'm just going to leave it in the truck. That way, if I have a problem, and that's the number one problem with this kayak. And it's, at this point, I've seen so many people have this problem. I'm like, it's not if I'm going to have a problem, it's when. But what happens is, so inside this mesh cover here, from your handle back to your rudder here off the back, there is cables that let you turn left to right, right? These cables get corroded over time and they break. You'll snap them. Some people have snapped them day one of having this kayak. Some people have snapped them 2 years after. It happens when it happens. Now, you can get some bicycle cables like, gosh, is it the brake lines or the gear? I don't know, but bicycle cables are comparable. If you can find some stainless ones that aren't going to corrode easy, you can replace it for $15. But what I wanted to do was get a whole nother assembly. That way, let's say we snap this one today. I could put the other one on, put the whole assembly on, and then work on replacing this one without having any downtime. So thankfully, I was able to see that post and call them before somebody else saw it, because you just can't get any parts right now. I mean, parts have been... I ain't telling Bass Pro how to do their job, okay? They bought Hobie several months ago and have been apparently in the process of moving their operation from Mexico to back to the United States. So I ain't trying to tell them how to run their business. But if I was going to offer some unsolicited advice, here's what I'd tell Hobie to do, or Bass Pro, who now owns Hobie, to do. First and foremost, make parts. Like, there are a bunch of people right now that have older model Hobies that need stuff and can't get it. Pieces to fix the pedal drive, things that wear out. You can't get it. Make parts available first. All of their energy should be going into making replacement parts. That's number one. Number two piece of advice. With the last few years of the previous ownership of Hobie, quality went off a cliff. You were having all these hull damage problems, like cracks in the hulls. Like I think they were skimping on plastic, trying to cut corners, save a few dollars, and they were having all kinds of structural damage. People have been waiting on warranty replacements of their hulls forever. You got to take care of those people. Make the parts first. Get the replacements back to people that's got warranty claims outstanding next. Then work on restocking your dealers with new inventory. I fear what's going to happen is they're going to try to get the new money first. They're going to try to get new kayaks on the dealer floors to try to start making some money to offset their debt that they've taken on for buying the business. And meanwhile, the long-standing customers are just going to get left out. The people that's got their pecker in their hand right now waiting on a warranty claim are going to be left waiting even longer, and you still ain't going to be able to get no new parts because they're going to be putting the new parts on the new kayaks instead of sending them out to people like me who need them. That's what I fear is going to happen. That's the way businesses are run in 2026. It's all about profits now. Screw your old customers. Hell with your future customers. Let's get the money, all the money we can get out of something now, right? So if I could offer them unsolicited advice, and why they would take advice from me, who the hell knows? They don't give a damn about me. Hobie's never acknowledged my existence. I've used their kayaks for years. I can't even get them to like an Instagram post. Like, they don't give a damn about me. I ain't on their radar, and that's fine. I use their products because it has suited my needs. I hope they keep making. I hope the new owners keep making this model of kayak. I hope they do. I don't think it's been very profitable for them. There's not a lot of people that use this kayak, especially as a fishing platform. So I don't know if it's worth their while. I would assume that they will consolidate some models, maybe eliminate some and eliminate some options in the others to try to streamline their process. But, you know, I don't know. It's all speculation. But I hope they get their act together, man. We got to get some parts. When you've got something like your rudder cable snapping, first off, the fact that so many people's having that problem tells me you've got another issue with how it's being made. Like, something needs to change with this process here. But if you do have something that you know is going to wear out and break over time, have them readily available when they're needed. And it shouldn't be no $100 damn. I mean, it was $100 for this whole rudder assembly. Like, that's a little steep. If you got something that's wearing out all the time, it needs to be a little bit cheaper. Ain't nothing cheap these days, though, folks. Gas over $4 a gallon. Hell, 100% gas. Yeah, that's what I put in my lawnmower. It's over $5 a gallon. Hell, I mean, just to mow your yard's expensive these days. Everybody gouging you. You're getting gouged all the way around. But circling back, that native kayak, sold it. That fella bought it, and he was a bass fisherman, and he was, I forget what kayak he said he had. But he'd been paddling. Oh, big splash. I didn't have my eyes looking that way, though. I didn't see it. But he had been paddling, and this was going to be his first pedal kayak. So the native Slayer that I sold him was going to be a big upgrade over what he had. He was going to have more stability. And even though it's a slow kayak as far as pedaling goes, the slowest pedaling kayak I ever had, it was going to be faster than what he could paddle. And still a lighter weight package, easier for him to get to and from the water. So I think it was going to be a good fit for him as this rod gets thumped. Okay, it's just kind of sitting there now. All right, let's get us another one on the head. It's a small one. I feel him rolling too, but it's much tighter rolls. He ain't going to be one to write home about. Put your pen and paper back in the drawer. You ain't going to need to write your folks a letter about this one. I don't think anybody even writes letters anymore. I think everything's email now instead of regular mail. The only thing I get in the regular mail anymore is junk mail. I get that in my email too, but at least what comes into my post office box, that junk mail, at least it's got some coupons in it sometimes for some fast food. That's right, Fish. We can get a 20% off a value meal. Them coupons in our post office box, can't we? This fish, he don't care. He don't care about no fast food. He goes out and hunts his own food. You need to get out there and hunt your own food, Fish, instead of eating baits with hooks in it. Give me that hook back. These thin wire hooks, man, they get in there deep. There we go. All right, little eater. He left our bait on. I think we're going to go ahead and switch it, though. Small as it was, it probably ain't got nothing left inside there. Lord. There we go. Yeah, let's toss that thing. Grab you another shad out the cooler here, folks. Let's get another one. All right. Nasty old shad right there. Another small one. Let's just cut this in half. Make him a little bit bigger presentation down there, why don't we? We still got plenty of shad. I think I've got enough for 2 solid days of fishing. Which I think tomorrow I'm going to make a little road trip further south. There's a tournament coming up I'm interested in if somebody else is going to fish it. I don't know of anybody that's going to fish it's the thing, and I don't want to compete against myself, so I'm going to wait and see if anybody else is planning on going, but I may go down there and poke around a little bit, see what I can find. It's on Nickajack, and I ain't, in fact, I don't think I've fished Nickajack all year. I love going down there because it's such a great fishery, and I've caught big fish down there. I mean, it's an amazing fishery. But to go down there, I have to go into Chattanooga and fight that traffic. And I don't care what day of the week, what hour of the day. It just sucks. I hate that traffic so bad that I just don't want to go down there and fish. But I think I may go down there and poke around a little bit, maybe tomorrow. See what's happening, see what's going on, in case I do fish a tournament down there. It's probably my last opportunity to fish a tournament this year. So I don't know, we'll see. My buddy, Pro Neighbor, he called it's a few days ago. It's been in this past week while I ain't been fishing, but he had been doing some bass fishing down there on Nickajack because he had a tournament this past weekend down there. And he was telling me about a big catfish he caught. He's Pro Neighbor, he's real good at live scope. Like, he's gotten really good with it. Like, he's been finishing up near the top of the leaderboards on a lot of bass tournaments in the last year. It's because he's gotten so good with electronics. Like, he's really got it dialed in. Well, he was throwing at some fish he thought was bass, but it turned out they were catfish. And he was sitting there catching catfish on chatterbaits. For those of you that may not be bass fishers, chatterbait's like it's like a blade. It's like a skirted bait, like a spinnerbait almost, but it's got a blade it thumps. Like when you're reeling in, it's like it's thumping. And now the skirt on it's kind of pulsating. Anyway, he was sitting there catching, and he sent me a picture of one of the catfish he caught, and it was probably a 50-pounder. I mean, it was big. But he was telling me where he was getting them out there and whatnot, and what he's doing there to catch them. Now, I thought, well, I'll tuck that feather in my cap in case I end up going down there fishing that tournament. Where he was getting them at's an area I don't really want to fish if I can help it, but I thought I'll go where I would ideally like to fish the tournament at tomorrow. And if I don't do any good, well, then I'll go to the area that I don't want to fish where Pro Neighbor had found them and see what I can do on tournament day possibly. But I'll tell you a funny story. So Pro Neighbor was telling me about an incident at another bass tournament. Sometimes him and Pro Moderator, who was on my channel a long time ago, doing some live streams with me and stuff, he ain't fished with me catfishing in a while. He gets real busy in the bass fishing season with tournaments and whatnot, and then sometimes him and I'll fish in the fall and winter catfishing. But I don't think we fished together last winter. I don't remember it off the top of my head. But anyway, a lot of you that's been with me a long time, you know Pro Moderator. Well, him and Pro Neighbor will travel together oftentimes in these tournaments. They'll use one vehicle with a double trailer, use the same launch and stuff. They'll stay at the same Airbnb, split expenses and whatnot. Well, they were at another tournament. Pro Neighbor or Pro Moderator probably get mad at me telling this story, but Pro Neighbor told me, and I was in tears. I was laughing so hard. But they had went to a tournament, and they got to the water, and Pro Neighbor took off, and Pro Moderator apparently had to pee. And while he was peeing, he thought he had to fart. And when he farted, he did more than shart. He apparently loaded his drawers and completely soiled his diaper, if you know where I'm going with here, folks. And I'm gonna have to think about something else. I'm gonna get to laughing so hard I cry here. And anyway, they're out there for this tournament they've traveled to, and he ain't got no clothes with him, no change of clothes, and he ain't got no toilet paper, no dude wipes, no nothing, you know. So, and he's with Pro Neighbor, so he can't leave because they got the same vehicle. So he ends up just fishing, and this is at the beginning of the day too. He just fished the whole day with crap all in his pants. I can't imagine what his kayak seat must smell like now. I wouldn't. Whoever buys his kayak, buddy, they're gonna be out there fishing one day and be like, "What the hell's that smell?" It's gonna be their seat. So they get back to the vehicle that day at the end of the tournament. And Pro Neighbor can't smell. I guess he had COVID a few years ago. And, you know, a lot of people lost with COVID. They would lose their smell or lose their taste. And for some reason, Pro Neighbor, his smell never came back. He can't smell anything to this day. So they get in the car, and Pro Moderator is like, "That's a good thing you can't smell nothing." Because he had to ride all the way home like that, too. So, whew. I think I'd have just stripped down naked, went skinny dipping, and cleaned myself up a little bit, I think, what I'd have done. But we got a fish here. Let's get this and take my mind off the Pro Moderator crapping himself. Oh, this fish is mad, too. This fish, he don't think that's funny. He said he's crapped himself before, too, and it ain't the least bit funny. It ain't funny when it happens to you, but it's always funny when it happens to somebody else. If you watch the TV show Survivor, I'm a big fan. I'm a huge Survivor fan. I've watched every episode of every season. There's a fellow on there this season, season 50. His name was Christian, and he shit himself on the show too. That was funny. That was probably the funniest thing that's ever happened in 20-something years of that show being on TV. Was Christian crapping his pants. I mean, it can happen to the best of yous, but boy, it's always funnier when it happens to somebody else. Pro Moderator will be pissed about me telling that story too. This fish ain't finding it funny though, buddy. It's going to be another one right here. It's going to be a pretty good one. He's going all the way back down. That's going to be a good one right here. And some decent bubbles coming up too. We had him up. He went all the way back down. In fact, let me take a camera here if I can. You can see where him and some of his friends are right there on the bottom. Right there. Oh, did that one get hit? I think it did. It did. Look right there. There it go. One of you grab that rod. Oh, buddy, we got a double on. We got a double. Let me just. I can't do nothing here, folks. I got one in the hand. If y'all want to be a fishing partner worth of crap, grab that other rod now. It's just sitting there buried, rod tip in the water. I'm gonna deal with the one in the hand. They're gonna end up finding each other down there too. They're gonna swim circles around each other. Well, hopefully this will stay out this way. We saw a few fish on the screen. Oh, I don't know if you could see it or not. I got to clean that screen up. It's got mud all over it from the cast net, but there was several fish there on the screen. If we had more rods out, of course I can't fish but just 2 in the links, but we'd probably have more rods going down. 2's plenty though. When we get on them like this, we can't reel in but 1 at a time. I'm gonna get this one up here to the surface, get a look at him, and then we'll pick up on the other one before we land it here. But I want to see what this one looks like, because I think this one's gonna be pretty good right here. He feels good, isn't he? Yeah, it is a good one. I saw his tail just then. He's a solid fun sizer. Yeah, look right there. Look right there. That's a nice fish. Let's set him back though and pick up on his friend. Now let's battle his friend one time. All right. Oh, buddy, doubled. Doubled up. That's how I like it to be. Rods going down 2 at a time. We got 2 arms and 2 hands. We need 2 fishing poles to reel them in with. As long as my toes are, I could probably reel them in with my feet too. This one here, that's a good fish. He ain't as big as this one though. The one on the right's definitely bigger. Let's get him first. Get our net here ready. I'll just go ahead and do this myself too. I know you ain't gonna help me with it. Oh, I mean, for fishing partner, I can't get y'all to do nothing. Oh, this one's left the bait on there. We'll go ahead and switch it out anyway. Get in that net. There you go. Nice fish right here, buddy. Well, he's even bigger than I thought now that we got him in here. Look at that. Here, let's do this. Since this bait is still on here, or it was, yeah, it's still there. Let's get him unhooked and drop this bait down. And once we get everything situated, get this other one landed, we'll switch everything out. But I'd like to just go ahead and get this one back down there if we could. There we go. Well, if I can, what you hung in here, fish? There we go. There we got it. Yeah, let's just rehook this thing just for a second. All the innards and everything's knocked out of it. But just to get us something back down there in case some of them other fish that we saw are still there, maybe they'll eat it. Then we'll hold this one up and get a picture, because he's definitely front camera worthy. He's earned his picture by being that big. He was a good fight too. This one here, man, he's a good one. All right, let me set you all here. See where we're at there on the screen. His friend, you just hang out over there. You be patient over there. Wait your turn. You tell him to wait his turn. Because this guy here has earned his front camera time. Don't flop. Don't do it. He's wanting to flop. He still wants to flop. I feel it. Get on. I know you wanting to flop. I know you is. I can feel it coming up in him there, the energy brewing on him. All right. Let's see. Let me get y'all back here. We'll see if we can get him steered over here. This one's much smaller. This is still a fun sizer. Oh, I missed him. Let's try that again. Okay, now we got him. Still a fun sizer here, but significantly smaller than his friend that he was apparently in the same group with down there. His friend was probably the ringleader. Yeah, I still see some more fish there on the screen. I hear ye. Listen to him talking to us. Here, I tell you what, I don't want to hold you up for front camera time. Normally I would. We're just going to hold him out like that, though. That's a solid fun sizer. The bar, though, fish, the bar's set high today. Even on that last grouping there, the bar was set high, so he didn't live up to it. That's, oh hell, our hook's in the dang net. Get that hook out of the net for me there. Y'all just keep sabotaging me. Okay. Well, let's find us another shad in our cooler. And let's see. Let's get this whole bag out of here. You can see how much we got. We got a lot of shad. You know what I kind of want to do? I kind of want to put this drum on. Let's at least, let's put the head of this drum. It's a small drum. Let's put the head of it on, though, on this rod on the right. The head, I mean, so far, our bigger fish and our most number of fish have been coming on the shad body section. So I don't want to switch that up. But maybe if we could offer a different type of head bait, and since this is the only other offering we could do, so this is the only other type of bait we have, it's worth a shot. Okay, here it is. Old drum head. Dun dun dun, down it goes. And then we'll take one of these shad and we will, you know what I think I might do next too? Just to maybe try something a little different. On the other rod, maybe we'll take some of these smaller shad. I got a lot of these that are, you know, this size here. Maybe we'll get 3 or 4 of them and put on, just to try it. Get like 4 of them out here. Yeah, stick this back in the cooler. Yeah, I didn't take a lot of throws yesterday. I made pretty quick work of it. Sometimes it's easier than others. Yesterday was pretty easy on the shad. Get rid of this bait. I mean, it's already washed out, and between that fish hitting it there, like everything's gone in it. And this, we'll just run through the nostrils or the eyes and put a few of them on here. And we're going to trim the tails. Get them bleeding a little bit, put off a little bit more scent. Got to be careful not cutting the leader line there. That'd be a bad day, wouldn't it? Okay. There we go. Let's try that. Just to mix it up for a second and see what happens with it. We'll give it a little while. If it don't catch a fish, we'll switch it out back from the body section. There are some better quality fish still here, though, man. We've gotten some today. All right, back in the game. We're rocking it. I don't know how many fish we've got so far, but I feel like we've had a pretty productive morning for no longer than we've been out here. How long have we been doing this now? Almost 2 hours. So I mean, that's several fish for a 2-hour time period. And that one fight took several minutes. Well, I mean, a couple of these fights have took a few minutes. So we, excuse me there, folks. I'm coughing right in the microphone. I need to get me a swig of water here. That's pollen. Every time it rains, I think, boy, we're done with the pollen. But then I feel like I'm eating a mouthful of it every time I breathe. Whew. All right. We set up again here. I think we're ready for the next bite. Got our lines reset, fresh bait on, drumhead on the left, a few shad there on the right. I need to see, let me pull my bait back out a second here. I knew yesterday I had enough bait for us to have a couple days trips worth, but I want to make sure if I go to Chattanooga tomorrow, I want to keep a few, because that's a chance down there to catch a real monster. I want to make sure I got 2 or 3 of them big shad left for sure. Yeah, we got plenty. We got plenty of bait. Plus, I could. We'll see how it goes here the rest of this trip. I was gonna say I could, before I leave here. Well, no, I can't because I didn't bring my net. I was gonna say I got the live scope in the truck. I keep it. It's on like a portable box. You regular viewers have seen me use it, but new viewers, if I'll describe it to you, I've got my live scope on just a plain old utility box. I keep the wires, the battery, they call it the black box, the processing unit of the live scope. I keep it in the container, and then I've got the screen mounted on top. And so what I'll do when I want to catch bait, I'll set it up on the front, in front of my camera mount. The transducer is on a portable piece of PVC, basically, that I'll stick in this rod holder mount. And so it allows me to take it on and off the kayak, because most of the time when we're out here doing what we're doing today, hell, we don't need no live scope. We're just anchored down at this creek mouth. I don't care if we're seeing fish on the screen or not. Like, they're going to work through when they work through. But I keep it in my truck most of the time, and so it's in the truck. I was going to say, if we run out of shad or we're getting low on the bigger ones, I'll just go to the truck, grab that live scope, and throw the net a little bit before I pack up here and leave today. But I took the net out of the truck yesterday afternoon. I'm not going to put that cast net inside the truck, because when it bakes in the sun, I think it's going to be, it's a little chilly this morning, but it's supposed to be like 80 this afternoon. You get 80 degrees inside your vehicle. Well, it's going to be way warmer than that when the windows are up. Baking that cast net with, I've usually got a few smaller shads stuck in there. You know what I mean? It's left in the net. So, your truck will stink like death if you leave that cast net inside it. But I also don't like to leave the cast net in the back of the truck either, because somebody pulls up and they see something back of your truck, they just take it. You know how it is. I ain't telling you nothing you don't know. There's thieves everywhere. So if I'm not going to be using it, I usually just take it out. I knew I had enough bait yesterday for a couple days worth, but if we ended up using, we'll just save at least 2 of the large shad, maybe 3 of them. Let's save at least 3 of the large shad for tomorrow. And then the day after, I might make another bait run. We'll check on the weather at that point. I don't know what I'm going to do the rest of the week. And part of it, too, kind of depends on the tournament. I need to try to reach out to some people, see if some people are actually going to fish it. The national trail, this is a national trail event. You got 2 kayak catfishing tournament trails this year. There's the national one that's been going on for a few years. And then you got the one in Ohio. It's exclusive to Ohio, various bodies of water there. Now, the one in Ohio is doing really good. They're getting a lot of participation. They got a lot of money. And the payouts are really good and all that. And the national trails, there ain't no extra money added to the pot this year. And since a lot of the people who fish the national trail are from Ohio, and they now have the opportunity to stay home, not take on all the expense, and be able to compete in tournaments for more money, they're not going to be fishing as many of the national events. I don't know if anybody's coming. And like if it's going to be 4 or 5 people at the most, I'm not going to go fight Chattanooga traffic and go down there and fish on a weekend. Like I may, I'll go down there tomorrow, but I'll go down there during the week. And I'll still fight traffic, but at least when I get on the water, I won't be pestered with people. But you go on a weekend, man, there's going to be bass tournaments everywhere, pleasure boaters. I'm forced to fish all day in a tournament. Like tournament hours are 7 to 3. Most of my trips these days, we were set up today, probably about 6:30, 6:45, I guess. I think sunrise was 6:30 today, maybe. So, I mean, we're out here at 6:30. I'll be off the water probably 10:30 today, unless we're just tearing them up. But I suspect this bite's we're going to die off at some point here. That's how it has been. So, that's my normal trip, man. I'll fish from dawn till 10, 11 o'clock. Go home, eat lunch, then work on the video stuff. These long videos like this, they don't require any editing for this video, but I will take the video and edit it down, make some shorts videos for YouTube and Facebook. And I'll also, too, take a trip like today where we've got several fish and some better quality fish, and I'll edit it down to a normal video and stick that on my second channel. Now, it won't come out till next year. The videos on my second channel, I've got them a year behind right now. Like right now, it's Kayak Catfish Highlights is the name of that channel. And so like right now on Sundays, I have a video coming out from spring to fall, the kind of the peak view time of fishing videos. I took last year's long trip, the unedited long video trips, edited those down, and I've got one coming out every week on that channel. So I'll do the same thing with this. So I have some editing to do. Even though I'm not editing this video that you're currently watching, I have some editing to do. So kind of structuring my day, how I do it, I fish for a few hours. I have a lunch break. And then I do my actual, what I consider the work of this, which is I consider it work because I don't want to do it. If you're doing something you don't want to do for money, that's a job. So it's an easy job. It's easy to sit there and edit videos at a computer in your house, but I just don't want to do it. I don't like doing it. But I'll do that this afternoon. And then hopefully have all that done by the time my wife gets home, and then me and her can hang out and enjoy each other's company. Maybe I'll play a little Mario Kart this evening, get a workout in. That's how I like to structure my day. But if I'm doing a tournament, and the tournament's say 8 hours, well, you're forced to fish the whole 8 hours if you want to do well and you want to win. And if I'm going to do that on a weekend especially, I'm like, better be some people there. There better be some money in the pot, I love fishing. I will gladly go fishing, be up at sunrise, ready to roll every morning to go fishing. But I like doing it for that sunrise bite. And then when that ends, I don't want to have to sit out here and grind the rest of the day for a few more bites or hope that a bite turns on again. You know what I mean? Like, I know some people. I've got friends that I call them marathoners, man. They will fish from sunrise to sunset or sunset to sunrise, depending on the person. Like, they are grinders, man. They're locked in and committed. I'm not like that. I try to hit peak feeding times, catch the fish when they're active, and then speaking of fish, one popped up right over there. But I'm just not a marathoner, man. And the older I get, I just can't sit comfortably in a kayak for long periods of time anyway. So I like to go have my fun and then call it a day, get all the computer crap done. Because the thing I really don't like doing with this YouTube crap, I don't like videos getting, like, I don't like getting behind on videos. I don't like, one thing I was doing a few years ago, like, I would go fish every day and film. And then I would wait till the weekends when I didn't want to fish because of all the boat traffic. I would wait till then to edit. And so I might have 4 or 5 videos to edit on a weekend. And then you spend all daggone day behind the computer. And it sucks. And I don't like doing that. I don't like getting that far behind. I like to get everything done. Like, if I'm filming this morning, I like to have all the video crap done by this afternoon. Get everything done, uploaded, off my plate. It just helps keep me in a good state of mind. But again, I'm able to do that because I don't like fishing long hours. I'm not really a grinder. I'll do it on a tournament day, or if a bite is really good, like if we were just sitting out here catching fish all day long, sure. But that's not the norm, right? Like, that's, most days you get, I just call them windows. Like, there'll be periods of time where fish turn on and feed, and in the warm months, it seems to happen a lot at sunrise or sunset, but in the winter months, when I'm not fishing, when it's too cold to get out and fish in the mornings, or too cold for me anyway, you'll get on some bites like that mid-afternoon sometimes, late afternoon. I mean, it could happen at any point in the day. You never know when fish are going to turn on, but I try to put myself in positions to where I can take advantage of that bite if it happens, and then, call it a day. I mean, if you're fishing a tournament, you got to be adaptable, right? Like, you got to be willing to make changes and do what you got to do, go where you got to go to manufacture some bites to get it going. But if it's just a normal trip, a normal fun, just a fun trip for me, like today, prime example, I'm going to leave my house with a plan of what I want to do that day, and I'm going to do it. And if I catch fish, awesome, great. As Hannibal would say in the A-Team, I love it when a plan comes together. But if it don't work out, let's say we'd come out here today and we just don't get on them. Maybe they're not here. Maybe they're feeding at a different time. Pick the reason. But let's just say we didn't do any good today. Okay. Well, I go home. We'll try it again tomorrow. Like, if I have a bad session, I don't have to sit out here and be like, okay, this ain't working. Let me go through the progressions of what will work. On tournament day, you got to do that if you want to be competitive. Sometimes plan A ain't going to work out, and you're fishing against the clock, so you got to make changes to get to the fish you need to get the bites you need. And there's some fun in that. There is a challenge to it. There's some enjoyment to. There's always a sense of accomplishment of when you do well in a tournament. Like, you either went to the water with a plan and it worked perfectly and you got the fish you needed and done well in the tournament, or you went to the water with a plan and it didn't work out and you had to make adjustments and make some changes on the fly, and you were able to, and you get the fish you need, and that's a great feeling of accomplishment. Makes you feel, well, it makes me feel anyway, like maybe I know what I'm doing after all when everything works out in the end. But on a normal, regular fishing trip, like I just don't have a great desire to do that. Like on tournament day where you have to do that, I'm kind of into it, right? Because it's not just about catching fish, it's about doing well in the tournament. There's ego at play, there's financial stakes at play. But on a normal day like this, where it's just a fun fishing trip, like you don't have that extra incentive. I'm like, we'll just go do what I planned on doing. If it works, great. If not, we'll try again tomorrow somewhere. So, we're not going to make a lot. Occasionally I'll come out and make a change on a regular trip. Like, boy, this just ain't working. Or I'll have a hunch or an instinct. Maybe go try something different. Or maybe I'll leave my house thinking like, okay, I'm going to start out doing this. And if that don't work in the first hour, then I'm going to switch to this. But I don't make a lot of changes on regular trips. It's like, I know what works. I know what I like doing. Like this method here, spring, summer, fall, winter too for that matter. There's never a bad time to anchor down in front of a creek because you're going to have a shallow water feeding zone out here in the main channel. You're going to have a deeper water retreat and you'll have a clear path in and out, right? I mean, this ain't a big creek over here, folks. You can see, like that ain't a very big creek. So if you're if your baits are right in front of fish as they're moving in and out, you got a good chance of getting bit. And that could be true any day of the week, 7 days a week, 365. Fish are going to eat, and they're going to use these shallow water feeding areas to do it. So put yourself between food and home, and you're going to get bit. Like, that's never a bad strategy. And I like doing this. I enjoy this. I enjoy the process. Just looking at places on a map and being like, okay, I can put myself here. And again, it's not like we're anchoring down and casting baits out all over creation. We're not coming up through here pulling planer boards covering half the damn river channel. Like, our baits, these are 7-foot rods. Oh, one of them rods just got hit too. Look here, look here. Nice slow. He's just sitting there with it. He ain't running. He's just there. He hit that thing and just sat there with it. Oh, that one got hit too. We're doubled. We're doubled. And this one in my hand's going to run now. We're doubled, folks. We've had some more work through here right now. Doubled up. We've had our baits right where they need to be. That's what I was saying. These rods are 7 foot long. I've got them at an angle, so I mean, there's not that much distance between my baits. So we have to be precise of where we're putting them. We can't be off, especially on a day where you don't have any current flow or you don't have much current flow. Your scent's not going to get dispersed very far. So if your bait's off, if you're off position, you're not going to be able to catch them. And so I like looking at places on a map and be like, I can put my baits right there and I'm going to catch fish. And I love that process. And that's what we've done here today. And it paid off last week when we fished this spot, and it's paying off again today. We've gotten several fish and some big ones, and this one in my hand, I don't know about the one on the left, but this one in my hand's a good one. I can feel him when he rolls. It's big rolls down there, so this is a good one. I would say there's a chance that the one on the left is too. Just, you would think these fish probably. Oh, buddy, he's pulling over there. I can't do nothing with him unless y'all want to grab it. Here, look at the screen right fast. Look at the screen. You can see all them fish right there. There's more down there. If one of y'all want to come through the screen, drop another rod down, you'll catch one too, I guarantee it. Boy, yeah, this is fighting, man. I hope he don't get, gosh, I hope they don't, they're in the lines together. This is going to be a problem here. Maybe y'all should hold off on dropping that third rod down like I mentioned. We'll have 3 fish wrapped around each other. Actually, I don't think they're wrapped up. I think this one, yeah, this one swam over there. Let's sit it in that rod holder. And we'll bring this one on this side. They went around each other, but somehow they didn't do laps around each other's lines, thankfully. Yeah, that one's swimming that way. I have no idea how big he is. This one in the hand's a good one, though. This is fun, y'all. This is so much fun. I love this. I could do this. When I do this all the time. There's just so much fishing I want to do, man. I want to go ultralight fishing. I want to go carp fishing. Carp's what I've struggled at the most this year. I've stunk it up. Carp all year to this point. We're due for some good trips. Yeah, buddy. I'm excited to get this one up here and get a look at him, and I'm excited to pick up on the other one over there and just to see what it's going to be like. Whew, buddy. This one's got some strength. There's more fish on the screen down there too. We can get this one up here. I'm hoping he's leaving the bait on for us. That way we can just drop it back down while we work on the other one. Versus having to rebait. Really curious that other rod over there to see. This one ate the shad. The 3 or 4 shad we had on. The other one ate the drumhead. Curious to see which one got the bigger fish. Nice. Oh boy, that's a good one. That is another really quality fish right there. Let's do this though. Let's set him back. And now let's pick up on his friend, who has tried to swim toward this creek, I reckon. At least he stayed out of the way. This fish has been calm. He's been patient. He's been waiting on us to finish up with his friend. This fish got a lot of courtesy, a lot of manners. His parents raised him well. Some of these human children could learn a thing or two from how this fish here's acting. He ain't gonna be as big as the one on the other side though. Yeah, that's a larger dink, smaller fun size, let's call it. It looks like he's thrown that drum head off too. Let's go ahead and just land the big one here. In case something was to go wrong, we'll at least go ahead and get this one in. Don't want him working himself free over. Oh, golly bum. He just popped free just like that. Well, doo-doo. I wanted a picture with that one. I ain't gonna get it, am I? He just popped free. That's what I was worried about. I was worried about him working free. He ended up doing it. Check the line. Everything's good on that. What's that up there? Is that a knot in my leader? Has it got wrapped up somehow? Definitely change this leader out. When we get done today, I ain't gonna do it right now, but when we get done today, that's something I gotta get better at too, is changing the leaders out more frequently. Let's, here, I'll tell you what, let's get some of these. I'm gonna go ahead, before we land this other one over here, I'm gonna go ahead and get rebaited. That big one that ate the small shad. So we're gonna go ahead and do that again, and then we'll put a shad head on the other rod. Let's just get some of these right here, buddy. We'll do what we done. I've got quite a bit of confidence in this setup right here, taking smaller shad and putting a few of them on a hook. I've caught some good fish doing it. Sometimes it works better than others, but like if it's days where all I have is small shad, like sometimes you just have to. And it works. Now, fortunately, yesterday we got several bigger fish, I mean bigger shad, but still, like if we got to do it, we do it. And I kept some of these just because. So let's move this back on this side and drop this one back down over here like we had. That way we can easily remember. If I keep my head bait on the left, I know what bait is what. If we start rotating back and forth and then there's a break between fish, I'll never remember. I can't remember yesterday hardly, let alone 2 days ago. And it's like that with baits too. We put a bait on and we go 30 minutes between bites. I'll never remember what bait we had on unless I have a system to it. Okay, fish, come here. Yes, and here he's larger dink. The head bait today just ain't got it done for us, has it? I don't know what it is today. Normally the head baits are kind of a premium fish bait, but today it's been either the body sections or, in that last case, several shad on a hook that's got it done. What the hell's that noise? Oh, I think that's their boat lift over there. Some people's leaving from that dock. Come here, fish. There you go. Up, up. Come here. Act like somebody now. Quit it. Here, let's get you going. You too wild. You got to use indoor behavior when you come in a kayak like this. Go read up on that. Ask ChatGPT how to act indoors, fish. You think them fish got ChatGPT? I don't know if they do or not. I'm using Claude more and more versus ChatGPT these days. That's just me, though. I don't know what fish use. They might still be down there using, I don't even know what, MySpace probably. That's probably what they use. They probably still got Tom as their friend on MySpace. Okay, let's take this shad. We're just going to cut part of this off here. We'll use, next time we reel up the one on the right, we'll just use the rest of that piece of shad there on it. Well, 2 more fish there we got, folks. Unfortunately, we didn't lay hands on that one. He popped free. I should have maybe went ahead and netted him before we reeled in the other one, but hell, then if we'd lost it, I'd have been wondering what we had on that rod, you know. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. You're always going to second guess. I think we reset, though. Y'all waved to the geese. Lord, they're wound up. They're loud things. I can't stand them geese. I think they're one of the most obnoxious creatures on planet Earth. I had done one video a while back, and then Ed, when I was talking about animals I'd get rid of if I had the chance. Mosquitoes, ticks, geese, and deer. Get rid of all of them. Geese are annoying. And they crap all over everything there at the boat ramps and stuff. Deer cause insurance rates to be sky high because they cause so much damage to vehicles. Mosquitoes serve no purpose. Ticks serve no purpose. At least none that I'm aware of. What the hell was I talking about before that fish come along? The process? Was I still talking about the process? Or being precise with the baits? Yeah, I think I was talking about being precise with the baits. Because, like, you take these rods 7 foot, and I've got them kind of at an angle, like a V-shaped angle here. And I do that because it's, with having them so close to me, if I've got them going off to the sides to get maximum distance apart, it's hard for me to get the takedowns in the frame on the camera. That's why I do them. That's why I have them positioned how I do. And I can't go any more forward that way because I've gone as far as I can as far as mounting the rod holders. But we don't have that much distance between our baits, right? So we have to be precise with how they're placed. You have to be, especially if you don't have current. So, I enjoy that process of looking at a map. I'll come out here today. The last trip, when I was in the native, I didn't have the graphs. I used the phone app and just hope for the best. Now today I was able to come out and like see the drop as we're coming down on the depth and see it start to level out. And as soon as it starts to level out, drop that anchor. That way we know we're right there on the edge of the drop. Right before it starts to come up, I should say, on the bottom there. And so we know our baits are precisely where they need to be. And by doing that, like that's true precision anchoring. Like what we're doing, I've seen other catfishermen, other videos, they'll say what they're doing is precision fishing, precision anchoring. And what they will have done is they will mark something. They'll either mark fish or an object, and then they'll go 50 yards above it, let's say, anchor down, and then cast baits to it. And they'll call that precision anchoring. That's not precise. That's horseshoes and hand grenades. You're hoping to get close enough. If you're anchoring 50 yards away from the target and casting down to it, sure, you can probably get close, but I mean, today we're fishing 36 feet deep here. If we were 50 yards away from this spot and you're making a cast and you're hoping you're getting roughly 50 yards in the cast and then your bait's falling through the water, like today we could get closer than maybe on a day where there's current flow, because the current flow is going to affect where your bait settles once it hits the water, right? Going to get pushed further downstream before it hits bottom. So it's not precise. What we're doing today is precise. We're precisely in this bass boat's way right here, apparently, because he's going to go in this damn creek. We've been fortunate so far. We ain't seen no bass boats. But our good fortune, it's done. I think he's over there talking shit about us, too. I heard him say something about a kayak. I was hoping we wouldn't see any of them today, but we've been fortunate so far. Hopefully they'll go on in that creek instead of sitting out here in front of it. Some bass fishers are more courteous than others, but I just don't have a desire to interact with any of them. I got a few bass fishing friends, and they're okay. I interact with them, but the average casual or stranger, I should say, I don't have a desire to interact with any strangers, honestly. But especially bass fishermen that entitled, feel like they own the place. I don't care nothing about it. I'd rather keep to myself. I like to just hang out with you all in these videos, even though we ain't actually hanging out together in person. If we actually hang out in person, if we were to hang out in person, I should say, you probably wouldn't like me. And truth be told, I probably wouldn't like you either. I think we probably wouldn't get along in real life. I'm hard to get along with. I am. For a person to be my friend, they have to want to be my friend. But for some reason, a lot of you come fishing with me on these trips. I seem to have a lot of you like me, even despite my personality flaws. Maybe some of y'all got personality flaws too, and you find that relatable in me. I don't know. These things get a lot of views. Even these long videos. I remember when I started doing the long videos, I started doing the hour ones, ultralight fishing. I thought, I'm just going to film for an hour. Let the camera roll. Whatever happens, happens. See how it goes. See if anybody watches. We're going to watch the rod go down here on the left. He hit it. That head bait. But they done well. And so I was like, well, let me try a 2-hour one. Ain't nobody going to watch 2 hours, but maybe. Well, those did well. Then I tried 3. Then I tried 4. I'm like, hell, ain't nobody going to watch a 4-hour video. Well, sure enough, they did. And I'd already had a little bit of precedent with it, seeing it because of the live streams. The live streams had done well. At least back when live streams, back in those days when people were watching more live streams, it was kind of new. It was kind of a new thing. Everybody was going live. YouTube was pushing it, putting it in front of a lot of people and stuff. And there was an interest in it, I think mainly just because it was new. And once the newness wore off, I think a lot of people kind of quit watching the live streams. And I ain't went live in forever. But there was already kind of a precedent set because I'd had not only live streams that got a lot of views while I was live, but a lot of them got watched a lot after the live stream was over, like hundreds of thousands of views. So I thought, man, there's some people out there that'll watch this. And I think about my own viewing behavior. Now, I'm not going to sit down and watch a long fishing video because I just don't like watching fishing videos. I spend so much time behind a computer with my own videos that when I'm done, the last thing I want to do is watch another fishing video. That's just, I used to watch fishing videos before I started doing them, and then, like I said, you end up spending so much time doing your own crap. I just don't want to watch other fishing videos when I'm done. And two, I also don't want to be influenced. Like I don't want to watch somebody else and then either consciously or subconsciously start imitating them. Like pick up on something they're doing and not even be aware of it maybe. Like not purposely try to rip them off. But like sometimes I think you watch something and you say something or you do something or you act a certain way because of something you've seen and you don't even realize it. So like I don't want to be influenced either consciously or subconsciously. So I don't watch very many fishing videos. Unless I'm just actively searching for something, trying to learn something, I don't watch that many. But I do watch a lot of podcasts these days. Like I'll watch Joe Rogan. And I usually I'll watch clips. I rarely watch a whole episode, but I will, like if I'm traveling somewhere, I'll listen to a whole episode. It might be 2 or 3 hours long. Or that Diary of a CEO, like there's some good interviews on there. Like I'll watch and listen to long periods of time on stuff like that. And so I'm like, there is some interest in it. I mean, clearly there is because these videos get a lot of views. But even with my own viewing behavior, like I've caught myself be on a road trip and listen to a full 3-hour podcast interview. And these trips like I'm doing here today, I mean, it's not a podcast. I'm not interviewing anybody. But it's kind of the same concept. Like it's just a long form conversation, albeit with myself. But still, maybe it's background noise to you. Maybe it's a real fishing trip to you. I think there's some appeal today too of we went through this, and everything cycles in life, right? Like bell-bottom blue jeans was the thing in the 70s. Then everybody made fun of bell-bottom blue jeans. And now we see people today wearing bell-bottom blue jeans again. Like what's old is new again. Everything is cyclical in life. And so when YouTube first started, I think that was a carp that just come up in front of us. But when YouTube first started, it was very unpolished, right? In the early days of the platform, videos were just kind of a lot of vlogs, a lot of just, it was real. I think that was YouTube's motto for a long time, was like film yourself or film your life or something like that. It was about being real and authentic. And then everything started to get more commercialized, like the Mr. Beast style videos, where it was all about the hook is about capturing the attention and keeping the attention, and not having any lulls, like constant action to keep that dopamine hit right in the brain, like keep it going. Don't give a person a reason to click off the video, so there's no downtime. And that kind of took over for a while. That was kind of the way thing, and to some extent it still is. But I think we've seen a shift in the last couple years of people, well, the audience, viewers, wanting more of a real, authentic look into whatever the type of video is, whether it's a fishing trip like we're doing today, or a hiking channel, or pick your genre, it don't matter. I mean, it could be anything. But people are wanting more realism, more authentic. And so when you're doing something like this, like, I mean, it's as real as it gets. I mean, the camera's rolling nonstop. If we get a huge fish and it takes 43 minutes to land it like it did on that last trip, well, you see everything. This fish over here that keeps tapping this rod and won't commit, like, you're going to see it all today. If we get that other fish that popped the hook, like, you're going to see it. If I get a fish in the anchor rope, you're going to see it. Like, it's real. That's the point. It's real. It's authentic. And I think there's been a shift in the last couple years. People that's wanting more of that. And I don't know if it's just the cyclical nature of everything. Is this fish hooked over here? Or is he just constantly after it? I'm going to pick up on it. I think he's just hitting them dang shad down there. I'm going to hold this thing, maybe. Hold it in my hand here. We'll see if we can jerk his jaw here in a second. He's back after it again. I feel him. That's the one we had all them shad on, and he's got multiple options to try to hit. Let's just see if we got any dang shad left on here. We got one left on there, folks. Let's refill that thing. Actually, let's put that other piece of this shad on. Cut that tail off. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Is it just we're cycling back to more of what people wanted when YouTube first started? Or is it just because everything got so commercialized, especially with like the AI stuff? People just want something that's real. It's real human, a real person, somebody that's relatable. I don't know if I'm necessarily relatable or not. I feel like a moron most days. I always envisioned when I was a kid, and I would see, hell, not just a kid, I mean, hell, and even in my 20s, I would see somebody that was my age in their 40s, and I'm like, okay, they've got their life together. Like they've got it going on. Like they've got life figured out. They know how to be responsible and what to do and when to do it. Like they've figured it out. And now that I am in my 40s and I don't have a clue what I'm doing most days, I'm like, well, maybe I'm not alone in that. Like maybe I'm not the only idiot in the world. Does anybody ever really have their act together? As a kid and teenager in my 20s, I look at older people and I'm thinking, okay, they've got so much life experience. They just know, but I don't know that anybody really knows anything. And I don't know, maybe that's relatable. I don't know. I don't know what it's causing it, but I myself, I never got into the Mr. Beast style of videos anyway. Like I watched some of them, and I've seen the Beast Game stuff, and I'll see an occasional video of his, but like I don't. I might be the only person on planet Earth that's not subscribed to Mr. Beast, but like I see his stuff pop up on my feed regularly, but like I'm not subscribed. I don't seek out his videos. I just never really got into that style. It's worked well for him. I mean, he's the most successful YouTuber of all time. So I mean, like what he does works. And I have a ton of respect for him for the success that he's had. But it's just it's not, his videos aren't made for me, right? Like it's just not. It's just not what I'm personally into. And, but I think there's more and more people that's kind of either shifting away from that, or they're just getting into other things, or they just want something more real. I don't know. But, I have a kayak catfishing channel. The bulk of my videos on here, on this page, are kayak catfishing related. And, my views aren't what they used to be, but hell, I still get 10 to 20,000 views on a video. And there's not, let me tell you, there's not 10 to 20,000 people on planet Earth that fish for catfish out of a kayak. So like I've gotten beyond this niche. It's a small niche of people that target catfish in a kayak, okay? You look at the tournament scene, there's a handful of people. You look at the recreational people who will target catfish in a kayak, there's probably, I don't know, a few hundred to a couple thousand across the country probably. All these people that do it regularly, there's a lot of casual fishermen, maybe go a couple times a year, but like people who are actively targeting catfish in a kayak, it's kind of their thing. It's what they do, right? You look at those people, you're looking at a few hundred to maybe a couple thousand, somewhere in that range. So I've broken out of that niche. Most of you watching today either don't own a kayak or have no interest in this whatsoever as far as doing it yourself, but for some reason you watch me. This fish is watching that. He's going to watch that rod tip go down. We all are. He hit it. So where I'm going at with this is like if the fish, make up your mind. Has he got it now? Has he fully got it? I think he does. Yeah, he does. I told him to commit to it, and by gosh, he did. He listened to me. You need to listen to me all the time, fish. Even though I don't have a clue what I'm doing most days, I ain't got my act together. If you'll listen to me, fish, I'll change your life. I think he's probably going to be probably a larger dink, I'm guessing. Not a monster for sure. But I don't think it's going to be a real tiny one either. I think it's going to be a larger dink or smaller fun size based on what I'm feeling here. Get your bets in now. Call you bookie out there and Vegas or down the road, whoever takes your bets, by gosh, put you a nickel or dime on it here. Get you granny's change purse out her pocketbook. I'm leaning towards smaller fun sizer after that last run. As the wind starts to pick up a little bit here, I think the wind is supposed to blow today. Thought we was gonna have a decent day all day long today. As far as the wind goes, it's starting to kick up a little bit. There's some more clouds rolling in too. I know it ain't supposed to rain today. Well, that rain's moved out. Must be the tail end of the front. Oh, hell no, this thing's bigger than I thought. Boy, if you bet on it being a dink, you done lost. You better pay up. Your bookie will break your thumbs now. Don't try to cheat your bookie. Yeah, that's a better fish than I thought he was gonna be. Get your net ready over here. On that shad head. Yeah, buddy. I did not expect to be this big. Get back over here. Come on, fish. Turn around this way, would you? Get net. Oh, I missed him. I want y'all net these fish for me. I don't ask much of you people. You can't even get you net that. There he is. Get in there. Get in there. Get in there and stay in there, fish. Okay. Y'all check that out. Yeah, I did not think he was going to be that big. That's a welcome surprise. Why didn't you fight a little harder, sir? Big as you are, you could have fought 2 or 3 times as hard. He said we didn't pay him enough. He said he wants to, if we want to get him to pull on our line, we're going to have to up our pay. He says I'm cheap. Fun fact, fish, you ain't getting paid nothing unless you took that bait. That bait's your payment. I'll give you some front camera time though. Yeah, we'll give this fish, we'll give him his moment of fame here. It's a solid fun size. I'll hold him up there. Definitely bigger than I thought. I thought he'd be small fun size, you know, but this is nice. He just didn't fight as hard as he could have. Whatever. He's probably tired. He's probably out all night partying. You know how these fish are. They got a very active social life, especially coming up on the spawn here. He's probably courting some ladies and trying to woo them, you know. I mean, I get it. I was young once too. All right. Well, let's get back in our bag here. We'll just get us another shad here, another shad head anyway. All right. Heck yeah, man. The bites keep coming. We're still getting some bites. For it to be where we're at in the morning here, I'm happy about that. Drop this thing down. And we'll be reset again. What did I put? I put that other body piece on the rod on the right, didn't I? We'll try it, and then if it don't get eat, or if it does, the next time we rebait, we'll put on some more of them small ones again. We'll just rotate body section to a few shad, keep it kind of going in that rotation, and then keep a head on the left. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just feel like, and it's impossible to know because you can't. It's not like I mean, even if I did poll the audience somehow, only the vocal minority is the only ones that's going to respond, so you still couldn't get an accurate measurement, but it'd be nice to know, like, what is it about the 10 to 20,000 people that's going to watch my average video? I mean, some of them break out certainly and get a lot more views, but like the average video that's going to get somewhere between 10 and 20,000 views. And it's not, those of you that's not catching catfish out of a kayak yourself, like, what is it that keeps you coming back? What makes you tune in? Like, what is it? Is it me? Is it the fishing? Like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. But I just pretty much do what I want to do, especially at this stage of the game. I mean, you go back in time 3, 4 years ago, I was more apt to try to do things specifically for the algorithm, to try to get views, right? I mean, I was spending all my time in my bigger kayak just because it was going to give me the best opportunity to catch fish. And now I'm kind of at a point in life where it's like, well, if this YouTube crap dies off, I'm good. I had a hell of a run. It was great while it lasted. I'm at a point now I can relax with it. And so I've kind of, I started doing more of this style of video because I like doing this more. It's more enjoyable to me. It's less computer work that I don't like. And then this year I've really kind of went all in on fishing out of this kayak because I want to, because it's what I enjoy doing. I'm fishing with less rods. I mean, my Hobie Pro Angler, I can fish 4 rods. I was doing that a lot of times because, I mean, it's more opportunities when you get on, say, a bite that we've had today, and you're hooked up with 2 fish and you see more down there. It's like, well, if we had 2 more rods out, we'd probably have 2 more fish on. And that's just more content. And when I was really focused on like everything, more content, that was important. But now I'm like, I just don't care anymore. And that's a terrible thing to say. I don't care when I'm running a YouTube business here. Like, I need to care about getting content, and I do. It's not that I don't care at all, but like, I want to focus more on me, on just having the most amount of fun, and try to get content while I do that. But I don't want content to be the sole focus anymore. Like, I want to get back to when I first started doing YouTube, and it was just a hobby alone. It was fishing number 1, videoing number 2, and then it became videoing number 1 and fishing number 2. And now I want to have that balance. Like, I want to film. I want to try to get good content for y'all, but like, I want to do the fishing I want to do when and how I want to do it too. And that's got to be a priority. And if I get less content because of that, so be it. But I really wanted to see, like, could I do it? Could I get a sufficient number of videos in a platform like this? That's, I mean, the Hobie Pro Angler having it's not only the size of the kayak, being able to carry more stuff, it's also, too, just the bow mount motor with the GPS functions. Having the spot lock, having the course heading, the cruise control, like all of those things. Like, if I'm dragging baits, I can set my speed, set the direction. Like, that stuff's just, it's a tool that makes life easier. Now, it does take away from the fishing experience a little bit, at least being in a kayak, because you're in a kayak that's so much bigger. It's just not as fun. Being in a small kayak like this, or the native kayak I was in last time, just a smaller platform, it's just more fun. It's a better kayak fishing experience. It's what got me to fall in love with kayak fishing to begin with. But I don't know. It's one of those things, like, could I, I've done it enough now. We're so far into this year now, and I've been using this kayak so much, I'm pretty confident I can get the number of videos I need to sustain this channel in this thing, assuming I can keep from damaging this thing anymore. I really thought I was being careful with this kayak. I've babied this thing more than any kayak I've ever had, and yet still damaged it to the point that I had 3 holes in it, and it wasn't even aware. Which I've seen some of these Hobie Lynxes online, people that have beat the daylights out of them. I mean, numerous holes, they still float. Like it's foam, you know, you're not going to sink the foam. But I still want to try to keep it nice. I want to try to keep the structural integrity, and I thought I was being careful with it, but I guess I wasn't. Not careful enough. But I think we've gotten to a point now, I have filmed enough in this thing, and I've adjusted how I fish, and I'm glad I did. One of the things I talked about, and it was shortly after I got this kayak, that in order to catfish in it, I was going to have to change how I fished, because every other kayak I've ever had, I have made the kayak adapt to me. I had a way that I like to fish, and I made the kayak conform. And I was able to do so by securely mounting rod holders, right? I was using my heavy gear, drags locked down, and I could do that because I would bolt the rod holders into the hull, and that would secure them to where they wouldn't get ripped off. Well, when you're using these damn plastic gear tracks, these things are garbage. Man, you can't fish how I used to fish with these. You'll lose, the whole contraption will just get ripped off at some point, and maybe even damage your kayak. The whole gear track might get ripped out on a big takedown. So when I got this, I was like, man, I'm going to have to make some concessions. Like, instead of making the kayak conform to what I do, I'm going to have to conform to what the kayak allows me to do. And I started doing that a little bit with this thing. And it took some time to work out, but once I got into the light tackle stuff, I'm like, okay, first off, I'm having a lot more fun. It's way more fun to reel in a big fish on the lighter gear than it is the heavy gear, and the smaller fish are way more fun on the lighter gear than they're on the heavy gear. So I was having more fun, first and foremost. But then the other thing is, it's like, when you're using the lighter tackle and you've got your drags set much lighter to accommodate the lighter gear and smaller hooks, well, then you're not putting as much stress and as much torque on the rod holders and the gear tracks that they're mounted to. So it's like, well, now I don't have to make any special modifications to the kayak. I don't have to do any of that. And that really, that's opened up everything for me, being able to catfish on this platform. And the other styles of fishing I do, the ultralight fishing, I was already preferring this. I had initially bought this kayak for my saltwater trips in the ocean because it's unsinkable. There's no hatches or anywhere for water to get in, and it's lightweight. Pulling it through the sand at the beach, this, that's what I wanted it for initially, so it's great for that. The only thing at this point, that I don't really have a good system or process dialed in for yet is the carp fishing. And that's just going to take some more time. Part of that is when I've done carp trips in this thing, it's been when our water still ain't up at normal pool. We're in granted, we just got a little bit of rain last night, but we're still in a drought overall this year. So by this stage of the year, our water level should be up at normal pool. We're still down a few feet. And TVA has said, if we don't get some rain, we may be down all summer long. But when I've done the carp fishing, I've just been pulling up on the shore. And I haven't had a reason yet to kind of fish in the water, in the kayak for carp yet. But when I do, and I start doing it more, it'll take a little time, but I'll get a process. With my Hobie Pro Angler, what I done for carp fishing, I got them power poles, which is another overpriced kayak gadget for what it is. I mean, you talk about something ridiculous. Them things like $600 a piece. I mean, it's stupid how much the things cost. But I put one on each side of the Hobie Pro Angler. I put them right behind the seat, so it gives you a lot of stability. Because when I'm carp fishing, there was another big splash. I wasn't looking that way though. When I'm carp fishing, I'm not necessarily getting any extra benefit or any extra enjoyment from carp fishing from a kayak per se. Like when we're catfishing out here today and a big fish pulls us all over and gets us spinning everywhere, that's an experience I can't get from standing on the bank or from fishing in a big boat. That is a unique experience to kayak fishing, specifically to a smaller kayak like this one. With the carp though, I've either fished off the bank or in my Hobie Pro Angler with the power poles, so it's rock solid stable with them poles down in place. So it's just, in that situation, it's just about the enjoyment of catching the fish, which they are very enjoyable to catch. They're a lot of fun. And I've mostly, kind of the same thing with carp as with catfish. Initially, I start out fishing more rods than I should and then consolidate it down. So now when I go carp fishing, most of the time I'm out there with 2 rods nowadays. And so I just got to get a way to anchor this thing. I've got a power pole mount, actually. You can see it maybe back here. You can see the base of it. And then that little black cover between that base and the rudder is removable. And that's where your power pole spike would go down to. But by only having one power pole, you're going to get a weather vaning effect, meaning the kayak's going to be able to spin. So if you're sitting here and the wind's blowing to the right, well, the kayak's going to spin to the right. Or if you hook a fish and he runs to the left, the kayak's going to spin to the left. And with having the 2 power poles set up, or fishing from the bank where you can keep everything still, you can cast your baits out there and sit. Whereas if you got one power pole and your kayak gets spun to the left, well, your bait that's cast out over here to the right, it's going to get drug, right? And so when you're carp fishing, you've got your pack bait, chum pile right there. Your bait's going to get moved away from that chum pile. And so probably what I'll end up doing is maybe using the power pole and then maybe dropping an anchor off the front to kind of prevent the kayak from getting, you'll still have the side-to-side movement, but you won't be able to get spun completely around, if that makes sense. But that's going to take some more time playing with and whatnot, and I just haven't done that because when I've carp fished and I've been in these creeks, there's just been plenty of shore access. Normally by now, if the water's up at normal pool, a lot of the shoreline that I've been standing on will be submerged, and there'll be so much growth from the shoreline, overhanging trees and such, you just can't pull up on the bank. But it may not be a problem this year if our water don't come up anymore. But it's just going to take some time to get that process dialed in, and I just really enjoy fishing out of this kayak. Of all the kayaks I've had, and for those of you who've been with me a long time, like I've had a bunch of kayaks, a bunch of different models. Big ones, little ones, multiple brands, but this is my favorite by a country mile. Like nothing's even close. So that's what I want to spend my time in. That's what I want to do. And so this is going to be the bulk of my content, is content in this kayak. And I think at this point, I've proved to myself that I can get enough content to sustain this channel on this platform. The one thing I haven't proved to myself yet is, and I don't know if it's true or not, I don't know if I can or not, as this boat goes by, they spent quite a bit of time in that creek. I never saw them catch anything, but I wasn't paying close attention either. But the one thing I haven't proved yet is, can I be competitive in tournaments in this thing? And I don't know. I've fished 2 tournaments in it now. Well, really 1.5. Why the hell did this guy go this way? What an idiot. What a moron. Is he just purposely trying to be a dick? He's running down river. He come out of this creek and he went behind us this way, made a circle around us, and now he's going down river. He idled the whole time, so I don't think he was trying to be a dick, but why not just go in front of us this way? Well, maybe he thought I had my baits cast out. Maybe I'm being unfair to this guy. Because the deeper part of this creek, like he went through a shallower part over this. There's a point that comes out over here from the shoreline that way. So it would have been deeper water for him to cut this way, and it'd be the direction he's going, and less of a disruption to us, unless he thought he might have been crossing my line. So maybe he was being courteous, and I didn't realize it. I may have been jumping to conclusions there. Maybe I'm the one being rude in this situation. It's possible. I may need to recant all of my statements. Who knows? But the tournaments, I took this thing to Alabama. I had a terrible tournament performance. No fault of the kayak. It was totally me. Just, I had a bad game plan. I had a bad plan, and I was indecisive once I got on the water, and I just doo-dooed the bed on that one. That was on me. The second tournament I fished, I fished the Ohio Trail, went up there on Hoover, and I got pissed off, and I shouldn't have got as pissed off as I did, but their drone operator, I told that story in one of these recent videos, his timing of when he showed up to film me was just awful, and it disrupted me trying to film out there that day, and I ended up getting so pissed off that I quit and left. So again, that's no fault of this particular kayak, but I just, it was another second tournament of the year I didn't do any good. And it's like, it's one of the things I'm going to have to do some tournaments to figure out, can I function? Can I be competitive in this thing without the bow mount motor and GPS functions and being able to carry all the extra gear and fish with the multiple rods and all that? Like, can I do it against these guys that are in the bigger kayaks with all the fancy gadgets? Like, I don't know. I don't know if I can be or not. God almighty, do we really have another boat? We do. One boat out, one boat in. We've reached that point in the morning. About time to get the hell out of here is what I'm thinking. It's about that. We're going to give it maybe another 30 minutes to an hour here, folks. And I feel like the bite is starting to taper. Am I imagining that? Because I feel like we're getting less action. We're definitely getting less action here in the last hours we got in the first couple hours, which I would expect the longer the morning goes on. Not to say we won't get any more fish, or maybe not even, we might bust several more fish, we might get another big fish, I don't know. But based on how it's been on some recent trips, it's like the later in the morning it gets, the more it goes down. He's gonna be right over here beside us. Probably throwing the same baits as the last ones that's in there not catching fish. Them fish see so many baits. If you're a bass in the shallows, you just see baits all day long. Same baits. Spinner bait, crankbait, chatterbait, jig, all day, every day. Hopefully he'll go on in that creek. I just don't understand it, man. I don't get it. I just don't like being around people. I know it's me. It's a me problem. But like if we were launching right now, and I launched in this creek, but if we come out here and he's out here, you know, even though I would be coming on out to the bottom of the drop, like I would just go on. I would keep going. I'd keep going and go find. I mean, there's plenty more spots. And I would do that just to get away. But that's me. You know, I'm weird like that. I'm too antisocial. I don't fit in. I don't fit into this world today. Social media, it's brought everybody closer, allegedly. I think it's made it more divisive, but it's brought people from all areas, all walks of life together to be able to communicate with each other. And I just don't have a desire to communicate outside of doing this, talking through a camera to you all. I just don't have a desire to actually be around people in the flesh, in the actual close proximity to people. And clouds, I feel like, have moved off now. I don't know if they just burn off. Well, they're going, I guess, farther downriver a little bit. But I feel like it got real cloudy for a little bit. Now it's clearing off, but the wind's picking up. It's getting a little bit more. It ain't a problem or anything as far as it ain't going to get choppy or nothing blowing like this, but it is blowing more now than what it was when we got out here. But I think we did have, I know we did, as we went through it. The first, 2 hours on the water? We were getting bit pretty consistently. But now, this last hour here, we've gotten some fish, but you can tell the bite's slowing. And I would anticipate that it will continue to slow. I'm gonna fish another 30 minutes to an hour here to see if we can bust another fish or two. But like, I wouldn't expect to have another flurry of activity like we had 2 hours ago. Like, I think that was our window. And when we were hooked up and reeling in fish and, had doubles there a couple times, like, I was seeing more fish on the screen. Hopefully you could see too. I showed the camera there. But like, we had active fish working through. They were feeding. They were coming through. And if we had 8 rods out, we'd probably have 8 fish on potentially. But that was the window. Like, that was the time they were coming through. Now, there'll be another window today at some point. Maybe it's 2 p.m. Maybe it's 6 p.m. Maybe 11:37 p.m. tonight. I don't know when. There'll be another feeding window. All these fish aren't going to feed at the same time, although it's funny how fish will feed at the same time oftentimes. You'll see that in tournament situations where you'll have people all over a lake or a river, all spread out in different areas. And people will all catch their fish around the same time, like they'll all be feeding. And I don't know why that is. It's like something in the universe, something in the atmosphere, I don't know, it just triggers them. They turn on, they feed, and it bite tails off. But there will be another activity window at some point today. But for the morning bite, it seems like right around sunrise, a little bit before the sun comes up to a little bit after, you've got that opportunity. And then it fizzles. So, thankfully today, I got my butt out of bed and got out here. And we watched a beautiful sunrise together and was able to reel in some fish. A couple big ones. Tells me as many fish as we've got today that were fun size and bigger and had a little weight to them as well. Like, I think the bulk of the fish anyway haven't spawned yet. Like, they haven't gone on the nest yet. Some of them undoubtedly have. at this point, because water temperatures are there to be spawning. And with us getting warm so quickly this year, that I would think would maybe push them up to spawn a little quicker. I don't know, maybe the water levels being down possibly has played a role in delaying it, maybe. That, I mean, because if fish have areas that they like to spawn year after year after year, well, some of those areas right now might still be not submerged. Like, they might not even be able to get to them. So that's a possibility. But just the fact that we've gotten as many fish as we have and the size of fish we have, I'm thinking the bulk of the fish haven't went on the nest yet. So we're going to try to just keep pounding them, keep hitting them while we can. I think tomorrow I'll probably make a trip down Chattanooga, fish an area that I'm going to fish the same area that I won the tournament at last year. That's a good place to start as any, right? Because the tournament last year was around the same time period, so why not go hit that area again? We'll see how we do. And then we'll see if anybody's actually going to go to the tournament. And if we do good and people are going to show up, then we'll go back there on tournament day. If we don't do well and people are going to come and we decide we want to fish, then maybe we'll go check out that spot Pro neighbor told me about. So he said they were stacked. There's a little hump. And he said they were stacked right there. And so I figure those fish will probably be in that area still. They'll either be on that hump or the next creek downstream from there. So the nice thing about that spot he was telling me about, where he found them, was that we're going to have options. Like if we show up there on tournament day and those fish aren't there, there's really only a handful of other places that they would probably be. And I think we could probably dial it in before the tournament ends. Like I think we'll be able to catch some there. But I would rather go where we won it last year and just, because that particular area I've fished before, I know it pretty well, and I know I've caught some big fish there through the years. So that would be my number one. So we'll go there tomorrow. We'll check it out. Regular viewers, that'll be the next video, assuming we catch something. I ain't gonna post no skunk video. We talked about that earlier. Like I ain't gonna subject you to that, but we'll just see. We'll see how it goes and make a decision from there. Take our shad that we got left. And we've got, let me take a look here again. Probably need to switch these baits out soon too. That's a big shad. That's a big one. There's a big one. Yeah, I mean, we've got 6 or 7 big shad left, plus some more mediums. I think I'm gonna switch these baits out here that we've got on now. I'm gonna take a few of these small shad along with one of the bigger ones, and we got plenty of bait left for tomorrow. They'll only be, I got them yesterday afternoon. I went and netted them, so they'll be less than 48 hours old when we use them in the morning. Yeah, let's go ahead and switch that one out. And we'll switch our body piece on the other side out with them, a few of them smaller shad, and that's what we'll roll with here till we wrap it up here today. I need to come out of this other shirt. It's getting warm. It's a little cool. You all know me. I don't like being the least bit cold. And so I've got an extra shirt on that I don't need at this point because it's hot. It's supposed to be like 80 something today. But if I didn't wear the other shirt first thing this morning, I'd have regretted it. All right, let's reel this one up. Yeah, this bait here, it's time to be switched out too. You can see the innards have gone on it. The whole gut pocket's gone. There ain't really no rhyme or method or anything to this. The real small ones, you can go through the eyes. Some of these, this size, I just go right through the nostrils. Put you 3 or 4 of them on. If they're real small, maybe you do 5 or 6, depending on the size of your hook. And then I just like to, you don't have to cut the tails off. You can leave them intact if you want to. But it does get them bleeding a little bit, which will put out a little bit more scent. And when you let them tails fall down through the water, especially on a clear water day like today, where you got 2 or 3 feet of visibility or more, it just gives you extra, them tails falling down through the water. It's more flash, it's more scent, it's chum. Just gets you a little something extra there. That could be part of it too. Well, I don't know. I've rationally in my mind, I've oftentimes said, and you all have heard me say it. Is that right? Did I bump that with my leg or did it get hit? A fish has got that. I'll be damned. We just switched that bait out and we've already got hooked up on it here. We got him. Oh, we don't need more. I was like, did I bump that with my leg or was that a fish? And it was actually a fish. But I've had this conversation with you all before about shadows and clear water. And when you get a bright sunny day and the sun directly overhead and you're fishing vertically under your kayak is putting out a big shadow right over your baits. And I think that could deter fish. And that was my thought for the longest time. And so an easy argument to make on a day like today where we've got relatively clear water and the sun is getting higher in the sky, was like, well, that's why the bite's tapering off, because we're going to be putting a shadow right over our baits. Well, I've kind of disproved that a lot just this spring alone because we've had some really clear water days. And I've been drifting, like some of my afternoon trips earlier in the late winter, early spring, in shallow, clear water, busting some big fish. So I'm like, well, maybe that theory don't hold water after all.
Okay.
Did my phone? Damn Siri thinks I'm talking to her. I'll tell you, folks, that phone's always listening. I said the word theory, and Siri thought I was talking to it. The phone's always listening in. Always. Everything we say, I bet it watches us too. That damn phone knows everything about us. I don't know, but I mean, like you think, like you work up these theories in your mind, and it seems logical, right? Like you come out in the morning, it's a low light period, you're catching fish, the sun gets higher in the sky, the bite tails off, and you're like, well, it's probably because we're putting off a shadow. We got all this clear water and yada, 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 yada. And so you rationalize in your mind why something's happened, and you repeat it time and time and again, and you talk yourself into believing this. Because it seems logical and it keeps happening, so it must be true, right? But then you end up disproving it, and you're like, well, I don't know a damn thing. So I don't know. Here's what I do know, though. Here's what I know beyond a shadow of a doubt. if you enjoy doing something and you keep doing it long enough, you'll eventually have success with it. Like, I enjoy fishing like this. I enjoy the process. And if we put in enough time to productive spots that fish are going to work through, I don't know when they will work through, but eventually they will. And if we log enough hours, whether it's logging consecutive hours on one individual day or doing like I do, putting in 3 or 4 or 5 hours on any given day, but doing a lot of days over the course of the year, it'll pay off in the end. Like, we're going to get our fish. We'll have stretches where we tear them up every trip. We'll have stretches where we can't catch a cold, but it all averages out in the end. And the most important thing when you get right down to it all is just figuring out, what is it that you like to do? What is it that you enjoy? Because if you enjoy the process, then catching the fish, getting the results, that's just a bonus. And I genuinely enjoy doing this. Like, I love being out on the water, watching that sun come up. Like, that's great in itself. And then when you do catch fish, in addition to that, it just adds to the experience. So, I don't know, man. The bottom line, I guess, is what I'm going to say here is I don't know half as much as what I think I probably know about fish when you get right down to it. And I'm not alone in that. Like, I think there's been a lot of stuff, especially with live scope technology. You hear a lot of crappie fishermen talk, and I'm not a big crappie fisherman, but I've listened to a lot of podcasts and interviews and such with people who were good at crappie fishing before live scope, and then they got live scope and they realized a lot of what they thought they knew was wrong about fish behavior and how they relate, how they approach baits, and et cetera, et cetera. Like, because now with the live scope, they can see it live. Like, they can see the fish on the screen and where they're positioned, how they approach a bait. And kind of like I was talking about, it's like you have something happen, you rationalize it in your mind, you repeat it over and over again, and you're like, well, I must be right. My theory must be true. But then you take something like live scope comes along and you're able to see that, no, I'm wrong. Like, no, that's not accurate at all. So then it just comes down to, like, well, does it even matter? Does it matter? Does the why matter? As long as it happens. Like, as long as you're able to have fun and catch fish, doing whatever it is that you enjoy doing, does it matter why? I don't know that it does. I think the human side of us, just the human nature, we want to understand. We want to know why. But do we need to know? No. We really don't. I guess it would be nice to know. It would make me feel smarter. It would boost my ego. Maybe I could talk with a little bit more authority, maybe a little bit more, be more matter of fact about things with how I say things, because I would be coming from a position of knowledge versus speculation. But I don't think that I know as much as I don't think I actually know as much as I maybe have thought I know at times. But I do know for a fact that if I put my baits in an area that fish are going to have to swim through, and where we're set up today, they will swim through it. Whether it's in or out of this creek or up and down this ledge, they will pass through here at some point. If I do that long enough, I'm going to get my fish. I'm going to have my success. Not every day, not every trip, but over the course of time, it will be consistent over a long enough time period. Any one day, man, any one day is unpredictable. We could have come out today and got skunked. And we could have rationalized it in any number of ways. We could have said, well, we had that rain come through last night. Maybe this front's got them shut down, or maybe they fed up yesterday evening before the front come through. What you can go on, you can make any number of reasons sound plausible in your mind. But would any of those reasons really matter? No. We either caught fish today or we didn't. And there's always fish feeding somewhere, every hour of the day. Yes, we had our window this morning where we had more fish coming through and more activity. That's 100% true because we experienced it, right? There's still fish somewhere in through here feeding right now. Maybe they're all the way in the back of this creek. Maybe they've pulled back out in the channel. But somewhere, if we were willing to adapt and try different things, different techniques, different locations, maybe we get back on again. I'm just, I'm not. I'm just not willing to do them things. I come out here today with a plan. This is how I wanted to fish today. And we've done it. And we've got some fish. And when we're done here, I'm going to go home happy. I'm not going to be upset if we don't. I mean, I'd like to get another bite. I'd like to catch several more fish before we leave. But if we don't, no big deal to me. We've had a successful day. Now, if we didn't catch fish today, I would go home disappointed that we didn't catch any fish. But it's not going to ruin my life. I'd be disappointed, but it's not going to ruin my whole day. Because I know that chances are, my next trip will probably be better. And even when I'm in a slump, maybe I have, and this happens a lot during the winter. I'm a terrible wintertime fisherman. I'll be the first to admit it. But it don't change the approach. I'm not going to just stop doing what I like to do because I have 2 or 3 trips in a row that don't go how I want, because I know eventually it'll turn. And I'll have 2 or 3 trips in a row that are just lights out amazing. That's how it is every year, man. And it's like that, I think, with a lot of things in life. Anything you do consistently, I don't care if it's fishing. Take your job. Most of you out there watching or listening to this right now, you've probably got you either have a job currently, or maybe you're retired now, but you had a career or job at some point in your life. And you worked, let's say 5 days, let's say you work Monday through Friday, right? You got a Monday through Friday job, 8 to 5. And whatever your particular career field is, maybe you're a nurse like I was, maybe you do 3 12-hour shifts or something a week. Regardless, you do 5 days a week, 50 weeks a year, let's say. That's 250 days a year you're working. If you're a nurse, you're working 3 days a week, 50 weeks a year, there's 150 days. Okay? Over the course of them 150 to 250 days that you're on your job, even if it's a job that you're not really happy with, you don't like, over the course of the year, you're going to have some really good days. Maybe it was days where just something went right at work, or you had some good banter with your coworkers, you got a promotion, you got a raise. I don't know, pick the reason. But something went really well at work. You had a good day. You enjoyed it being there. You're also going to have some really crappy days. And I don't care. You could have a job you absolutely love more than anything. Your life's work. But things happen. Things go wrong in all aspects of life. And you're going to have some days, even at a job you love, where you have bad days. Maybe you didn't get that promotion. Maybe you didn't get a raise. Maybe you're the boss and you had to fire somebody or lay off some employees, or you lost a big contract, or pick the reason. But over the course of the year, you're going to have a few bad days. Most days, though, are going to be pretty average, right? Maybe some above average days, maybe some below average days, but just average, run-of-the-mill, typical work day. Well, if you just look at it individually, day by day, and you have a great day at work, you're like, oh, well, this is the best job ever. I love this. That's not a fair test. That's not a fair assumption, because the sample size is too small. Same thing, like if you go in, you have a really bad day. It's one day. How is it over the course of time? Hopefully, if you're at a job you like, you're going to have more good days than bad. But if it's your standard average job, you're going to have a few great days, a few really bad days, and a lot of average in between. And it's going to balance out over the course of time. That's true with about anything you do in life. Anything you do consistently over time. Now, if it's something you take like fishing, you're going to hopefully get better over time. Or if it's your job, your career, hopefully you're going to get better, incrementally better, each month, each year. But you're still going to have some really home run type days. You're going to have some strikeouts and just a lot of base hits. And that's what I try to always remember when I'm on a stretch, man, and I'm just tearing it up, getting big fish every trip. I'm like, calm it down, Justin. Bring it down a notch or two, because this isn't going to last. And on the reverse of that, when I'm having a slump and I'm going out and getting skunked and I'm just not on the fish, I'm like, don't get too down. This isn't going to last. Things are going to bounce back. Because it always does. It just always averages out in the end. So I think that's important to always keep in mind. It was certainly like that in my career back when I was working a real job as a nurse. I mean, I probably had more really bad days than I had really good days, but it all averaged out. As a travel nurse, I worked a lot of different facilities, a lot of different jobs, and some were better than others. But even the good places, you'd still have bad days, and even the bad places, you would still have some good days. That's how it is, man. That's how it is in life. Nothing in life is ever perfect, and nothing is ever, well, I can't say that. Nothing's perfect for everybody forever, right? I guess things can be infinitely bad forever. Like if you're somebody, if you've got a injury or an illness, maybe life can be pretty miserable every day, depending on what you're dealing with. So on the bad end of the spectrum, on the bad end of that side, things can be bad all the time, I suppose. But I don't care how happy a person you are, or how much you enjoy doing what you're doing. Like, you're going to have some everybody has rough times in life. Everybody. Nobody makes it through life unscathed. We all go through hard times and loss and injuries and illnesses and setbacks, and that's part of it. It's not so much what you go through, it's how you handle it. It's how you respond to it. And the most successful people, I don't want to say they take it in stride, but you don't get hung up on your wins or losses. And it's easier to say than to actually do. Because when things ain't going well, it's easy to beat yourself up and play the victim and play that role, man. And when things are going really great, it's easy to pat yourself on the back and self-high-five and gloat and go on about how great you are. But that's where you got to be a little bit realistic and kind of either bring yourself down a notch when things are high or bring yourself up a notch when times are low. And just know it's all going to work out in the end. It's all going to balance out. How the hell do we even get on this conversation? Like, how did I go down this rabbit hole? I don't even know, man. I don't know how the hell we done it. The conversations that you get me on without even conversing with me, there should be a case study in itself on that. Like, how do I talk to you all for this many hours with no feedback? Like, you all ain't sitting here conversing back with me, and yet we go down these rabbit holes sometimes that I don't even know how we do it. But yet here we are. And I wouldn't have it any other way, man. I would so much rather be doing this than doing if we'd done a regular edited video today, we would have a probably 30-minute video. Maybe longer with the number of fish we've caught and some of the longer fights and stuff. But, well, we'll see, because I'm going to edit this down for my channel for next year's videos on that channel. But, yeah, I'll say it's kind of nice with that second channel being like a year ahead, like having all of last year's videos that I edited down to go on that channel for this year, like being completely done with it for this year, it's kind of nice. It's one less thing off the plate. And if I do get behind on editing for the next year, like, I don't necessarily have to. I hate getting behind, like I talked to you all about. I hate being behind and have it hanging over me, but I could do it in the winter when I'm not fishing as much. Just keep a little notepad and be like, okay, on this date, I need to go back and edit this video down. Like, that's possible. It's nice being ahead. My main channel here, I'm a little ahead. I try to be about 2 weeks ahead at all times, if possible. Give myself a buffer in case I have a malfunctioning kayak and I miss a few days or go through a slump or something. I hope to not have a disruption to the video schedule. And give myself too, if I want to fish an area that's got some fish, I want to hit it hard before the first video of me filming there comes out. That way I can go back without people sitting on it. But I don't want to be too far ahead because I want the time frame to be relevant with what you're seeing. And of course, that's not always the case. I mean, 2 weeks can make a lot of difference here this time of year, whether fish are on the nest or not. But if you're south of me, your fish are probably already on the nest right now. And if you're north of me, you might have another month before they go on the nest. But, the main thing is just kind of, for me, I want the videos to be, the time frame to be relevant. I don't want to be posting summertime videos in the winter. I don't want to be posting spring videos in the fall. Like, I want everything to be within a couple weeks of it being filmed, being posted. And maybe that's dumb for me to even think like that because, a lot of my videos get watched well after the fact. I've got videos from 2 or 3 years ago that still get a ton of views today. I got a video right now on my channel that's taken off. It was from not this past winter, but the winter before. And I guess YouTube algorithm changes, and now something about that video is working in the algorithm. It didn't work back then, but it's working now. And it just suddenly started getting more views. Well, the time frame's completely irrelevant to the time we have now because it was filmed in the winter. But it's getting a ton of views right now. So I don't know. Maybe I overthink stuff like that. Maybe it doesn't really matter. Well, it matters to me. I can't say it doesn't matter because it obviously matters to me. That's why I do it, how I do it. But it may not matter as much as I think it maybe does to the regular viewer, yourself. Who knows? That's another one thing. Kind of like with the fishing stuff we talked about. You can overanalyze and rationalize and come up with real logical explanations for stuff, but is it really accurate? Or are you just taking something and making the narrative fit because it can. It's like putting the round peg in the square hole, or the square peg in the round hole. Like, it don't fit, the shape don't line up, but let's say you got a round hole and a square peg. Well, if the square peg is small enough, it'll fit in the round hole, even though the shapes don't line up, right? I don't know. That's another human nature thing. We overanalyze. We rationalize. We're always looking for the why, even though maybe the why doesn't matter. Why is that video from 2 winters ago suddenly doing well on YouTube? I don't know why, but it's great that it is. That's a video I thought was dead and that hadn't done well back when I filmed it. Now it's suddenly getting views. Great. Why that is, I don't know, but it don't matter because I'm getting the results now that I had hoped to. I had hoped that I would have gotten 2 years ago, or a year and a half, however the hell long it was. Not this past winter, the winter before. So the why don't really matter. We do that with the algorithm all the time as content creator. Every time there's a change, we focus on the negative. Like, I can't get views, the algorithm sucks, the algorithm's against me. But what oftentimes happens is, the algorithm will change and it might hurt what you're doing now that was working. But then there will be other videos that maybe didn't work in the past, or other concepts or formats of videos that didn't work, that they will suddenly start working again, or start working for the first time. Like, sometimes when the algorithm changes, it moves away from one type of video but moves toward another type, and that really comes down to just putting out consistent content. If you put out enough videos, it all average out. Just like with life, just like with job, just like with fishing, same thing with YouTube. You put out enough videos, it'll all average out in the end. I think our bite here is about done though, y'all, man. We've had a couple of taps, but it's been a long time since we've reeled in a fish. I feel like we've about milked this today for about as long as we can. I'm gonna give it a few more minutes, but if this boat coming down river right now, I swear if he turns in this creek, I'm probably gonna get the hell out. One of them boats that went in, he's turned, he's coming out now over here. The other fella, he's fished his way from the front toward the back. I ain't seen him catch nothing. That boat there, he's gonna keep going on down good. There's in more and more boats now. I'm filming this on a weekday. You wouldn't think there'd be as many, but this time of year you get more and more boat traffic this time of year. More people out fishing. People on vacation or taking vacation days, or people that are retired can actually get out and enjoy it because the weather's decent. I don't like fishing in the winter. I like catching fish regardless of the time of year, but actually the process, like enjoying the process, as we talked about some during this video. I don't enjoy the process as much in the winter because I don't like being cold. If I'm cold and I can't feel my hands, I can't feel my feet, it takes the fun out of the process. Catching the fish is still fun, but the process to catch them isn't as enjoyable. And I don't tend to catch as many fish in the winter because I'm not a very good wintertime fisherman. So I just don't like it as much. I like going to Florida in the winter. I love me some Florida fishing. I seen a video the other day, a big shark come up. A guy was reeling in a tarpon. One of them social media videos. Guy was reeling in a tarpon, and the shark come up, and he takes a big bite out of it, and then here comes another shark. And there was like a school of sharks around this tarpon, and they just destroyed that thing. Kind of hate to see that happen to a big tarpon like that, but that is that's the law of the land, man. Big fish eat small fish. It's pretty exciting when it's a big fish eating another big fish. They packed in that boat, ain't they? 3 of them in there. If they caught anything, I didn't see them catch nothing. I wasn't watching their every cast, but I never saw them. I ain't seen nobody catch nothing today but me and you. We had a hell of a run them first couple hours. I could make a compelling argument to only fish the first 2 hours of every day. The first 2 hours or the last 2 hours of daylight. If you only fish the first 2 hours of every day and you went out every day of the year, you would catch a bunch of fish, man. Now, even if you couldn't go, you couldn't go out every day of the year. There'd be weather knock you out, cold temperatures. Well, some of y'all are more tolerant of cold than I am, but let's say spring to fall. Comfortable temperatures and days where it wasn't storming or pouring down rain or super windy. Any day that you could fish, spring to fall, you went out and you only fished the first 2 hours of each day. Just right as first light to just after sunrise there. You know how many fish you would catch? Lord Almighty, you would. No, you wouldn't do it every day, but you would catch a bunch of fish. Or you could pick sunset too. The last 2 hours of daylight to maybe just past dark. But those 2 time periods alone, you would do very well. I just feel like our time doing well today is done. Without us adapting, trying a different technique, different location, I feel like our time here is about done. But I'm still going home happy today. I am content with how the day went. We've got several fish. We got big fish. We got us a flathead, albeit a small one, but we did get a flathead. And old pesky channel cat. We got the trifecta. I would rather my trifecta be blue cat, flathead, striper than channel cat, but whatever. It's a good day. It's going to be better here in a minute. We're going to wrap up this video. I'm going to shed my bibs and shed one of my shirts. And it's going to be a lot better. Because I'm getting hot, y'all. I'm getting hot and I'm getting hungry. I had some leftover pizza on the way down here this morning. We went to, I can't even remember if it's called Bricks or Blaze. It's essentially the same place it's the same restaurant in the same location. It just changed names. And I can't remember which name it changed to, but it's kind of like a Subway type pizza place. It's pretty good. Me and the wife ate there last night, and they just make you like a little personal pizza. And I eat all mine, but she only ate half of hers, and so she don't like that particular. I'm okay with eating cold pizza, but that thin crust style that they use it's not as good the next day as like a thicker crust pizza. But nevertheless, it's edible, and she didn't want it, so I brought it with me this morning to eat breakfast on the way out here. But we've reached that point in the day. I'm a growing young boy, and even though my metabolism ain't as high as it used to be based on my looks in my belly, it is high enough I've worked up an appetite reeling in these fish today. So I'm going to get something to eat on the way home. Go home, eat, start doing this computer crap, and do it again tomorrow. Maybe head down to Chattanooga. Oh, well, we had a bite right there. Just a tease, a little dink tap. Come on, fish. Let's end the video on a fish. Is that possible? Could we do that? He says, hell no. He says, hell no, Justin. We ain't doing that. Whatever, fish. We done caught so many of you. We don't give a crap about you. Little dinkity-doo anyway. It would be nice to go out with a fish, though. There's another boat coming. We got one going down, one coming up. We're definitely leaving at the right time. Let's do it. Let's get out of here, folks. I'll see you. I'll see you in the next video, which we'll hopefully film tomorrow if things go well. Thanks for coming with me today. Next time, though, folks, bring some bait. Help me reel in a fish. Net a fish for me. Be a fishing partner worth the crap. That's all I'm asking. Just help an old boy out. Anyway, thank you all for fishing with me today. I'll see you next time.